Hey, it's the Bennington Show, and we are back live. Surprising little tune you played there today from 200 Cigarettes.
Yes. This
underappreciated movie.
Underappreciated movie and underappreciated band, Harvey Danger.
I know, I agree. I agree. They're one of those bands that people think of as a one-hit wonder, even though they got tons of great songs.
They have so many good songs. I bought all their albums. I was obsessed with them. And everyone would just be like, the Flagpole Sitta guy? Like, yes. What?
That's all you have for me?
Sean Nelson is a genius.
He is actually one of the greatest singers.
I wish that I could tell him that to his face.
We've contacted him before and said, like, if you ever come out east, but he hasn't done it in a while. But yeah, of course.
I love that dude.
Okay, it's the Bennington Show. Gail and I were at a funeral yesterday, but we are back and ready for Comedy 101 tonight. I hope you have tickets. It's promising to be one of the events of the summer.
Yeah, definitely one of them.
Well, I'm only saying that because in 2 weeks, I think I'm doing Creeps with Kids, which I understand less, but I am looking forward to it. And I believe Mr. Robert Kelly, who's crushing it on sex and drugs and rock and roll this year. I know it's hard to keep up with all the TV that's out there. I'm finally caught up on the night of, and I can't believe I think there's only 2 more episodes, and it's over.
I have to catch up on now the most recent one, Sunday.
You're going to get infuriated.
I'm surprised. It doesn't feel like 2 episodes left. It seems like there's a lot of story left.
I don't think we're going to find out the true killer. No. I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-mm.
But you go to a movie, they seem to be able to tell a story in an hour and a half. I don't know what happens with episodic television now.
They're like 15 hours is not enough time.
Sooner or later. By the way, Jay Moore in 200 Cigarettes. Killing it.
Yeah.
I believe, wasn't Kate Hudson his girlfriend in that?
Was Kate Hudson in that?
Yes. That was Kate Hudson, Almost Famous.
Wow. I do not remember that to be her. That's very strange.
And a cameo by Elvis Costello.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know if it's a cameo, since it's just pictures. I don't think that, but it's pictures that tell a story. All right, the Bennington Show is back, and you're saying this was it's a big anniversary date for Bennington.
Yes, this is the anniversary of the Battle of Bennington. It happened today, many years ago. I don't know the exact number.
It was me and 3 other guys started some shit.
I think it was like 17. I don't think it's 1777, maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. You do the math.
Yeah, work it out. I think it's 175 years ago today. or 400.
Either way.
It's good, though. It's good. All right. I don't know if I can get involved in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff. There's some breaking news. She dropped the restraining order. I don't know what that means to the rest of us. I don't know why he cut off the tip of his finger. I don't know why. It's very funny that no matter what happens, sooner or later, when you're drunk, the white trash just comes out. There's no way around it for any of us.
That's what ends up happening. It's just like how many drinks till you get to.
And I'm going to tell you this, white people. We're at the point where they're almost going to drop the name trash. And it's just going to go white people.
You're acting very white right now. You need to calm down. You're embarrassing yourself.
Kenny Powers was like a fucking seer for the way white people were going to be done. And, the redneck culture, it exists outside of every city in America, not just the South anymore. It's been embraced everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's the Trump supporters right now. That's what he's banking on, that these dudes are going to come out. But who knows whether they're going to do that or cop some meth and fucking rob a 7-Eleven. You can't tell. I'm watching the crazy flood zone, too. Down in Louisiana, it's just fucking horrifying. That rescue the other day.
That was the craziest thing.
Worst, awfulest thing ever. Although it worked out well, but when she said I had a dog, I was going out of my mind. I go, you can't expect this man to risk his life for your dog. And he fucking did. All up on the iBang. All right. It's the big Tuesday show, there's an uncomfortable thing with Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton out, where Joe Biden overhugs.
Well, Joe Biden is doing that thing that reminds you of just like that weird uncle thing, where it's like you want to kind of slither out, but it's just like he keeps embracing her, and you can kind of see her body language, like she's kind of trying to be like, all right, we're done.
Here's why you think it's a weird uncle thing, Gail. He's from the same place where all your weird uncles come from.
That's probably what it is.
There is that part of the world that Joe Biden lives. There's kissing on the lips, and it's pulling people in for a long. And see, to me, that is no longer of a hug than we were in yesterday a million times, but it looks nuts to everybody else.
There's also a very weird moment where he takes his hands and goes under her arms, but then she lets her arms drop, so she's just like in toddler position where she's just it looks like he's ready to lift her up and be like, who's a good girl?
She dropped her arms because there's nothing you can do when the sexual fucking charisma of Mr. Joe Biden comes in. He fucking means it.
Yeah. Oh, he has a sex appeal, that's for sure.
Yes, he forces himself on people. I know some people find it the most uncomfortable thing in the world to watch, right? To me, I look at it, it just looks like Christmas. That's
You know exactly what that feels like.
We were at that funeral yesterday, and there was a eulogy being done in the church that done in my dialect, Delaware County, Delco. And just bring up the words that were mentioned, Gail, that had you so happy.
Hoagies, chips, sodas, and tasty cakes were discussed.
And some of the great things.
And for some reason, all that I was like crying and giggling at the same time, but just like, it was so sweet.
It was one of the best eulogies of all time.
It was one of the best.
Yeah. That was my cousin Floss. It was also great to see, and this was, she basically was like, her and her sister were my first friends in the world, my cousins. That's how tight we were. But it was great for me to see her current and former husband both beat down by life. That was the part of the day that gave me joy of, oh man, she is just still the same. It was also so great to see, for me, so many different generations, from little kids to old people, all crushed about losing my aunt.
Yeah.
Just that part of it. I really am a big fan of embracing that kind of pain in public.
Yes.
I know some people like to keep the stiff upper lip, but I feel so comfortable when people let themselves just be crushed.
Oh, I'm always ready to dive into it.
Yeah.
I've never had much a choice. Like whenever somebody says like, "Ooh, I almost cried there." I'm like, what did you do in order to stop? Like, this is not something I'm aware of how to do.
Quick to laugh, quick to cry is probably the healthiest thing for a person. But yeah, at the same time, there's all that heartbreak. It was just great to get together with all those people.
Yeah, and I saw people I haven't seen in a million years, little cousins and second cousins that I grew up with that. It's
act totally the same.
Yeah, they're the same people, and it's weird. All this time can go by, and then you're holding on to memories that you had when you were like 9 years old, and it still feels the same. It's just as comfortable.
It's the strange family. You just can't. There is no sense to it whatsoever that you have feelings for somebody that, like you said, could be a second cousin, in the way that you don't for someone walking down the street. You know?
I have my one cousin who has just like this amazingly brilliant curly red hair, and I give her a hug and I'm talking to her and I'm immediately like playing with her hair and talking to her, and I was like, I'm not 10 right now. This is an adult woman that I haven't seen since I was a little kid, and I was just like treating her like we were both kids for a second. I had to be like, what
she's
am I
fantastic too. She also, when she had to go and read the thing at the, she had to go up and read from the Bible or whatever, and then she came back. She was sitting in front of me, and I go like this, that was great. Did you write that? And she's like, no, I didn't. Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah, I see what you're doing to me.
Really beautiful stuff.
And then the littlest Raymond. I am a person who knows 3 generations of Raymonds. That's how weird my life is. But he's like, what? How old would you say he is, the young guy?
He's got to be 10.
He's something. I don't know ages when I
somewhere between 9 and 11.
But just a great kid, like he could be in Stranger Things. He's got that kind of TV face. So he was very lit up and excited because he was going to be a pallbearer. He's like, is it time for the pallbearers? Like that was the only thing that he was caring about. So I'm sitting near them, and the priest comes by, and they're lining up the people that are going to go out and kind of put that shroud over top of the casket. And the priest is talking to him, and I just grab him, and he's a kid. He doesn't really know me from Adam. I go like this. I point at the priest, and I go, do not trust that dude at all. Don't trust him. And he just goes like this. Why? It was the best fucking line in the world. Like, what other information could you give me about this guy? That when you talk about that, whatever kind of ritual and formality, which I always say is a good thing, it really brings out the fucking little kid in me too.
Yeah.
Really? This is what we have to do because you say so. All right, it is the Bennington Show. I'm really looking forward to tonight. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the funnest show yet. I hate to say that because the other ones were so great.
I know. I was having this same thought this morning, thinking this has potential to be the most fun and wild and just hilarious. So,
well, I'm getting calls from all kinds of people who keep saying to me, "What are you going to do with this thing?" And I go, aren't we doing it? Isn't this the thing that we're doing tonight? Isn't it the thing?
But do that, but different.
Shouldn't it be even bigger and better? I'm like, oh, okay, now you want to... Why don't you guys call me when I have a shitty idea, and we can all improve that? Right. Not when the fucking show is great, and you're like, how can I get a little piece of this?
Little taste.
Someone says, too late to join the party? Go, what party?
I'm trying to make some coins off this show right here.
Well, it's, I think it's the funnest show to be at. And it is tonight. Make sure that, if you didn't get tickets this time, and I understand that Chris is erratic. I've already gotten phone calls back on that. But really? It's, yeah. It should be just a blast. So make sure that you can get here for the next one. And I don't know when that's going to be, but it's going to be terrific. I am enjoying the Olympics immensely. Usain Bolt is one of the craziest guys I've ever seen in my life. And people are going like, how can this happen? This never used to happen. And I'm like, but he's a professional runner now. You know what I mean? Like, he is one of the highest paid athletes in the world. And in my lifetime, I remember when those guys were amateurs, where you had to say, like, I do this, but I'm also a gym teacher, Yeah,
and the sport, I mean, obviously for track, there's not a lot of things that are going to change about the way you, what you're actually accomplishing. Like, the way that gymnastics has changed so greatly since, like, let's say even if you look at videos of like what the gymnastics were like in the 50s and 60s, where it's just like just showing that you can, I don't know, like they did a lot of the ribbon. It was like a little bit of leaping.
Well, the thing about track and field though, it's 1/1000th, so every tiny thing matters. And Bolt is maybe the greatest athlete of this generation for the fact that, and this is what kills me about him, he doesn't explode out of the blocks. The whole way that you're supposed to win that short race is to get out of those blocks faster, quicker, and with more power than anyone else. He's like eighth there. And somehow he finds the time in a 9-second race to catch up and blow by.
Well, the one race that he ran where he actually like is checking out the person
and smiling.
Yeah, and kind of seeing that he's edging him. But the way he's doing it, so it's
Road
like, no, focus. You know, like you feel like he should be slowing down while he does it because he's doing it in such a relaxed way that it seems like he would have to get his whole like head into running. And yet he was able to just be like, oh, okay, I'm definitely going to win.
I'm better than most people. I am still better. Still better. Bolt. Great fucking name for a guy who's fast.
It's so great.
But Vito came up with a story that shocked me where he said that Chris Humphries, everyone knows him as a part-time basketball player and was a part-time Kardashian. He was the big lumbering oaf that she married right before Kanye decided he wanted her. He was such a great young swimmer that he used to beat Michael Phelps in races.
What?
And Ryan Lochte.
What? That's insane.
Oh, by the way, when I say Michael Phelps, you assume he also was faster than Ryan Lochte.
He was so much faster than Phelps. He beat him 6 different times. And in Phelps's biggest race that he won 4 gold medals in, he beat him by almost 6 seconds when he was 10.
When they were 10 years old.
Yeah.
Now, is it just that he started to focus? Because he's like, what, 6'10"?
So he got really tired of swimming, and he didn't like the amount of work you had to put into it. So
Same as he is with basketball.
He went with basketball because he was like, this is too much, and I'm burnt out.
How many teams has he played for now? He's played for a few teams.
I know the main team he played for was the E Network.
Sweet. Take a shot at him.
It's a burn.
Take a shot at him. You just got vetoed, dude. You just got fucking vetoed. Enjoyed it.
You just felt the power of veto.
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the power of veto fucking trending, and he can't. So he was a tall kid, so he had that big wingspan, and he just didn't want to be wet anymore.
He didn't like the amount of effort you had to put into swimming.
I don't blame him there.
Basketball.
Too many hours being wet.
It's exhausting. You're just fucking swimming. Why not just be a tall guy under the boards and do very little except for put your body in front of people? Man, that's got to be something, though, when you see a guy that used to wax being called the fucking greatest athlete of all time. Because in the back of everyone's head, you're like, if I would have done just a couple different things, I'd probably be the pro.
Now, do you think if somebody were that dominant over another athlete at 10 years old, do you think that it would continue to stay that way? Do you think that's a good representation of how athletic you would be as an adult?
No.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. That's the horrific thing that most guys can remember some sport that they did well when they were younger, that you sit and watch it now and you just think, I don't know, maybe if I would have, kept my head in the game,
right?
I'd be there. That's the whole thing about being a fan.
Yeah, when I was in, all through elementary school, I was the fastest girl in my class until people started to get tall. And then, you know what I mean? Then I immediately was like, oh, God.
But everybody has that feeling of something that they played or did. I mean, at the very least, you remember a single time at the bat where you crushed it, and that doesn't leave you for some reason. No. That stays in your fucking head. And then you just think to yourself, if I was just consistent, that's the power of golf. Everybody has made a pro-worthy shot once in their life, and you're like, if I could just do that. I did it, but what if I could just do it all the time?
Yeah.
That's why people show up at sporting events. They're like, there's some dudes. I could have been one of them, but I want to like to party. Everyone lies to themselves. Well, we're going through this now with fucking Tebow, where at 29 years old, he's like, well, I can't play football But remember how good of a baseball player I was in high school?
Right.
So he's just going for it.
He's already shilling out memorabilia right now too. He's selling bats and balls autographed for like 150 to 175 each.
I don't want one.
What are you going to do with it?
You know, I'm going to get a mantle. All right, so before he's even had his tryout, this fucking guy's such a carny.
This is the best.
You know what to do instead of this, Tebow? Just meet someone. That's what's fucking with you right now.
Doesn't want to.
And I don't care if you're gay, man. That's fine.
Doesn't matter to us.
But it's less. I know that he's like embarrassed to give people tease him for dating a guy, but it's less embarrassing than fucking writing your name on a ball and selling it. You know, when you don't play baseball.
I mean, he's really putting the cart before the horse here.
He's putting the cash before the horse is what he's doing.
He's confident.
He reminds me a lot of young Chris Stanley.
Oh, yeah, when Chris was going to be a kicker.
That's still alive.
Because you haven't figured out an ending? Takes a little work, doesn't it? Takes a little work to figure out an angle.
He has a good signature.
And that means what?
It's aesthetically pleasing.
Then buy one.
If you want it.
Does this become valuable if his baseball career like fails? Because then there's only so many?
The only value there is in whatever it matters to you and the market. I don't see the fact that you've got let's suppose he goes on and hits 500 home runs. The fact that you got an early baseball, I don't think matters. If he gets great at the fucking sport, he's going to sign these things forever. If he stinks at the sport, why would you want this?
I have a Tom Brady autographed baseball.
From what?
My friend was at a baseball game in the box with him, so
Yeah.
he got me an autographed baseball, and I just think it's awesome.
Your friend just wrote his own name on a baseball.
No, it's family friends.
And
No.
I have a Jordan card with when he was on the White Sox, and you know how much that's worth? About $4. I looked it up. I thought, that could be worth money.
Where'd you get it?
It was like from a pack of baseball cards. Like I bought a pack of
Well,
baseball.
that's why there's no worth to it. Because that's not his signature.
Oh no, it's just a baseball card. It's not even signed it. But I just thought this is probably a rare baseball card. It's a Jordan baseball card.
Why would anything be rare? It's up to the manufacturer. If not, they could just make 1 million tomorrow.
We were just talking about signed memorabilia.
You brought up something that wasn't signed.
But
You know what? Something that wasn't signed isn't that.
Oh, I have an unsigned piece of paper here, and I checked into it. It's not worth shit. It looks like Fox Force 5 going by us right there.
It did.
There's 5 of them. There are 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fox, because we're a bunch of foxy chicks.
I don't know what it is about that movie. It hasn't left me at all.
It's
I
great.
feel like I just saw it last night.
It's great.
Did any of you guys go see the shitty movie yet that everyone's complaining about?
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I did.
You went and saw it?
Saw Suicide Squad.
The geek of the show?
I did see it. The reason was on Saturday, it was so hot. And I thought, what could be better than to sit
What
in
is
the
this,
AC?
1958? You have AC.
I know.
All right, so what'd you think of the movie?
It's really bad.
Okay.
Which I knew. But I don't think I was expecting that level of atrocity. That it was. If you could probably laugh, you could probably have fun, but I don't think you're not going to feel that way if you go see it in a movie. If you are home and you're like, I want to watch a bad movie, I think that's an easier experience to have. You
Sure.
can say like, oh yeah.
Of course.
But to actually go to the point that I was just focus on the cool temp. That's all I just kept focused
But
on.
why didn't you go see Sausage Party or Hell or High Water? Which is the best movie, period.
Hell or High Water, we were going to see, but again, the temperatures, it's not playing in Brooklyn, and we did not want to travel
Well, yeah, I mean, it was horrific.
103.
It was so
degrees.
bad that the mayor came out and said, I'm just going to put sprinklers up around the city and you kids run through it, and old people.
And not only was the experience so bad, the actual theater was awful. It was like a really uncomfortable, weird room. They oversold it. And then the people next to us was just like really like tough looking Hispanic couple. And the chick sits on his lap next to us and then proceeds to talk more than you would ever talk if you were watching a movie at home. Like at home, you might maybe discuss something a little bit.
I don't like when people talk during movies at home.
I'm telling you, it got to the point that I was thinking like, I don't even know what one could say about that scene. Like, what was there to discuss in every moment
She's
of the
like
movie?
this, Papa, you would have kicked his ass.
They thought everything was hilarious.
Oh, they enjoyed it.
I've also never seen more people get up during a movie to go to the bathroom, go get like popcorn in the
But they did
middle
come
of the
back.
movie.
They weren't just leaving because it was shit.
Yeah, but they would just look like it doesn't matter if I leave. That's what it felt like. I have never seen that many people in my life get up, just kind of like mill around. They come back like 10 minutes later with some
How long
popcorn.
was it?
I don't know. It felt like an eternity. But here's something I didn't hear mentioned about this. The soundtrack is so dumb. It's like the most on the nose. Every scene, the song is literally describing what's happening in the scene. And it was like, and also every overused soundtrack song, Sympathy for the Devil plays. It was like Gump. It was like the Gump soundtrack where you're just like, oh, stop it. This is all you.
And the times they are changing.
It was so dumb. It was pretty bad. But I don't even think that you can. My initial thought about Jared Leto as the Joker was like, yeah, I don't think he pulled it off. That was the main reason most people wanted to go see it is. But then again, he's in it for such a short time, and that character, well, I know people are thinking about it, but that character kind of needs to be built up because most people you end up identifying with the Joker, or at least you tend to. Well, you know what I mean. Like you kind of root for him because you like to see him.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. The Joker's the most popular comic book villain in history. Period. Sorry, Penguin. You did not make the list. I know you were raised by penguins or whatever. You just happen to look like a penguin.
Also, Killer Croc is maybe one of the worst characters I've ever seen in a comic book movie. It was so bad. You would be praying for like Mr. Freeze puns with him.
Now, what's he, a crocodile man? Or does he have crocodile DNA?
You've got to see the movie.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry. They don't explain that. He just looks the way he looks.
It's the exact opposite. Of what I said.
Don't worry. There's no explanation whatsoever why he's bumpy and likes to swim in the sewer. There's no reason.
He's homeless?
I'm going to guess that he was holding a fucking reptile when lightning struck and he was standing in some fucking chemicals that a mad scientist was working on.
The Harley Quinn performance is so irritating.
Sexy.
She's doing well. Yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much all you can hang on to that character.
That's plenty. That's plenty.
She's doing like one of those New York accents that doesn't exist
Like
anymore.
an old Brooklyn, New York accent.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh my God, this is what we're gonna do," and it's like nobody talks like that anymore.
Cigarette girls still. I go to a place and all the cigarette girls talk that way.
She's like, "What? What are we gonna do about this?" I'm like, "No one talks with that accent anymore."
But that's the way she was in the cartoon, so that's fair.
Why?
It's not fair if you're now taking it to fucking
Why
movies.
is that fair?
I like when they keep some stuff from the comics.
It's
But
a
that's
cartoon
not the,
isn't a fucking
That's
comic.
not the comic then.
She's originally from the cartoon.
This is so
What?
fucking ridiculous.
She's a comic book character.
No, she started in that cartoon in the 90s, and then she was so popular they put her into the comic books.
Are you serious?
He's
That's where
right.
she comes from?
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know this either.
No one ever wrote her in the comic books. It was just a very
To
popular.
this day?
I mean, I think they put her in after the cartoon went off the air. Like, oh, Harley Quinn's a cool character. We can make a sexy Joker. That's what people, I think
But
were
the
more,
cartoon had to be for children.
Yeah.
And what you say when you're taking this and you're trying to sell it back to adults now, and if you do a cartoon voice, first of all,
ridiculous.
it sounds like there's so many fucking problems with this. Why do it? But on the good side is a ton of people showed up, so they don't care. They'll give you 10 more of these fucking stupid things.
And that's all they've set it up for, is just like,
for Justice League.
yeah, that's it.
John, what's up, buddy? You're on Bennington.
Hey there, Benningtons.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to know if you were going to go check out the new Jason Bourne movie, or is it kind of at this point beating a dead horse?
Well, I'll see it when it gets to TV. I think like I've seen all of those movies.
I've never seen a Bourne, and I want to do a complete Bourne marathon.
See the firstborn.
That's all you need?
Yeah, it's like Rockies. Like everything is lined up in the firstborn. But this thing, and now somebody said that it became all action, and that was never my favorite part of it. I'm telling you, if you like movies, particularly if you are a man, see Hell or High Water. East Texas, 2 bank robbers, and 1 crusty old sheriff. Great dialogue, some heartbreaking scenes. You're wondering which side you're rooting for. It's everything we like about movies.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. Looked so good, and that's the movie that I wanted to go see, but temperatures kept me away.
The whole West Texas thing is very interesting because there's just so much space there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they shot it in West Texas. They may have shot it in New Mexico. But if you just see like this small town that, has built it up, just boarded up buildings and stuff. And then you got to ride hundreds of miles and then you see another town that looks just the same way. You're like, why? What? Maybe this place wasn't supposed to be for people.
The trailer for that movie reminded me of the trailer for Cold in July, which I went to go see that movie just because I saw the trailer. I was like, that looks incredible.
And the movie wasn't.
And the movie was not. And I thought, that's always weird when that happens. Like, it was a killer trailer. Like, amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Not that good.
But
no
I'm
point.
wondering why it got so cold in July. It's only such a warm month.
Don't worry, they don't explain it. In fact, I don't think it does at any point.
I just never spent a cold July. I think it was a great movie to go see.
Sam Shepard is in it. Don Johnson. I think Michael C. Hall, is that his name?
Yeah. Is this a new movie?
No. Or it's a couple of years old. Stunk. Stunk it up.
Speaking of which, what is it today, BL? What is it fucking today?
How'd you do it with me?
Well, from the word BL.
I was going to call as Cindy from Iowa, but I figured that's a lie.
But it would have been it would have been a funny joke in your own way. It would have been your first funny joke.
It could be Melania, but we won't talk about her, will we? Because I'm babysitting Baron right now.
God, you can't do characters, honey.
Why?
No, I don't know why. You have no talent. That's it. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you can't do characters. I'm saying that character is fucking doesn't exist the way that you're doing her.
But you get the idea of the Melania thing, like BL, Melania.
The only thing I get is blowjob from her.
Well, I'm getting record emails on it, and just how much the fans love it.
First of all, a record email for you would be 1. It's easy for you to break the record for approval.
Well, approval would be me last night at the Def Leppard show in Tampa with REO Speedwagon, a little teased hair. It was a great night.
So you're still going out to Def Leppard shows as if nothing
God, yeah.
changed.
Well, here's the deal. Every year, the week of Elvis, my friends and I, like right now, we'll start planning next year's Elvis, but there is no
All right,
kicking
stop for a
out, there's
second.
nothing.
Is she saying Elvis?
That's what I was hearing. Elvis?
The freaking guy died today, you peanut butter jelly mayo motherfuckers. Are you kidding me? I'm eating one right now.
So this is, 39 years Elvis passed away?
Elvis passed away, yeah, today.
Oh, my God. I can't even be in a fucking discussion with her. I just asked you how many years it was. I'm trying to guess. I think, didn't he die in 77?
Oh,
For
yes,
somebody who
because
acts like this is so important to them, blah, blah, blah. It isn't.
all we know is a man was bent over on a toilet that made the history of rock and roll, whether you're metal or oldies. Everybody knows it's his week, his day.
Well, apparently you didn't. You don't even know how many years he's been going. Why are you doing this to me? Why don't you do what you normally do? Get a pair of pliers and tear out one of your teeth. Tear out one of your meth teeth.
No, I don't do meth, Benny. Don't say that. Don't start rumors. No, I was in
You
the
look
trailer.
exactly like a fucking meth head. You're the after on any online, look what meth does to you.
Oh, my God. This is horrible. I'm on my way to a Rays game. We're tailgating. Rays are taking on the Padres tonight.
What time?
I'm on the way to
So why are you heading there? Why would anyone go to a game that no one goes to 7 hours before it starts?
7 p.m. We've got banana sandwiches. We're grilling them up.
Elvis again?
Did you see the outpour of people getting ready to park? We got campers. We got campers here in downtown.
Those
St.
people are
Petersburg.
actually living in those fucking campers in St. Pete. That's a home.
No, St. Pete's called the Berg now for St. Petersburg. I'm in the Berg.
Who says that, Melania? Melania?
No, how do you know it's Melania? Or, excuse me, stay in character, Ron. It's Melania. Or it may be Billary.
And you do an impression of Billary?
I sure can.
All right, let's hear it.
Right now. Well, hold on. Let me think. Okay, here we go. While my husband's in Jennifer Flowers, I'll be doing my Rose Garden speech in the Rose Garden
you know what?
as my ninth year.
All right, hold on. Let me just say this. I stand corrected. That was fucking amazing. That was
amazing.
so good.
If I had a lampshade around my collar right now, I'd have my $12,000 Armani jacket on that Billary wears. Beal's multitasking is what she does.
I want to do this. I want to just have you stand somewhere and then drop a fucking cinder block from 10 stories high. I just want to see if I can end this.
Right. That ain't right. You know, if you drop a quarter, next time when I visit at Christmas to you people, drop a quarter off the Empire State Building, you know you could kill me. The hole goes right through my head. It goes right smackaroos, buddy.
Somebody could put a straw through your head. Your your soft spot. Never. No, just stop screaming. Please stop screaming, BL. My headache is.
The game doesn't even start till 7 p.m. and they want $25 to park at the friggin' Rays Padres game.
Who gives a fuck?
Ridiculous. Huh?
Who cares? My headache is killing me right now, BL. The BL headache.
This is a symptom.
Benny, don't. I just stepped in some illegal poop. Someone didn't use their bag this morning.
It was your own, honey. That was your own poop that you stepped in. You're leaking again.
I do wear extra small Depends. I pop them on. I'm in menopause. What do you want from me, people? Hey,
BL, who's going to win Florida, Trump or Billary?
Oh my God! It's so crazy there.
Where?
It's crazy here. It's crazy everywhere. I ask every day, and people are flip flopping. It's the worst.
If you had a bet today, if you had to put money down today, who's going to take Florida?
Florida, Trump will take it, and the red state, New York, your people, you guys will definitely bring in Hillary. There's no doubt.
No one asked you about New York.
Well, I'm just saying, Florida ain't going to take both of them.
No shit. That's why I asked you to pick one.
Wasn't an option.
It's going to be Florida. It's going to be Florida. His Palm Beach money, nobody can top Mar-a-Lago, my Donald. Are you kidding me, Donald J. Trump? I'm sorry, my ass is on the red button. Did that press? Donald's in the shower right now. Bannon? This is Bannon? Where is he? Where's Bannon? Okay. You guys there?
BL, this is becoming increasingly impossible. I want to make a deal with you. A once-a-month call. No more.
Coming out. Cowboys coming out, Chris Stanley. He knows what that means at the craps table. What's the deal, Benny?
I told you while you were screaming, coming out, Cowboys coming out. As I was explaining to you, you just started screaming, coming out, Cowboys coming out.
Yes, that's what happens in Vegas, baby. It's
Are
a
you in
craps
Vegas,
table.
Theo?
No, I'm
Then
in
stop
St. Pete,
fucking
Florida.
screaming that. You're in the fucking Ray's parking lot, like
Outside of it. She hasn't paid the $25 yet.
Well, it is very steep.
I'm
Let's see the
camping, baby.
Padres.
I'm camping. What's the bet, Benny? Tell me the bet. Just tell me what you want me to do.
All right, hold on, BL. Snowy, what's up?
What's up there, Ron?
Yeah.
Let's have Lady Di on the BL on the phone again. Good Lord.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, BL.
that's rude.
Yeah.
Who's that prick? Who in the hell do you think he
Just
is?
a guy named Snowy.
From Michigan.
Hi, Snowy.
How do I
You know,
keep
Dewey-
her on with this shitty thing and the caller at the same time?
I believe if you hit unlock,
All right, so she's locked, and I just go to
and
the
then
next call.
they should be on the second fader.
Oh God. Al, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddies. Are we getting jobbed here, or is this for real? Is she this fucking stupid?
Yeah, she's that stupid.
Holy God. God bless you guys. You're going to be saved for this. God bless you.
Hey, I love you, sir. Spread love. Like Yoko and Hillary. They got it on. They made love.
Yoko and Hillary did?
70s, allegedly.
No, there's no one alleging that. That's never happened.
Yes, it did. It came out like a week ago. Who's
What?
rat-a-tat-tatting that computer in there from Windows 95? Who's got the scoop in that room of your raw dog?
Oh, they just sit and look. They're not paying attention. So you're saying a report came out that Hillary had an affair with Yoko 20 years before she became First Lady.
Yes, get sausage fingers on it. You will find it. Yoko came out and said that she made love to Hillary years
First of
ago.
all, why
I
do
think
you
it was
call
the
him
70s.
sausage
It's
fingers?
really hurtful.
I love his fingers.
Why would you yell
Yummy.
Creepy.
You're like,
I'd suck him like a Jimmy Dean.
can I just tell you? The concept of a finger is just so far off to you. You find it exotic.
But you do have to give her credit for her Ace Ventura reference. It's very topical.
Sure. She's on the cutting edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, Gail knows. Baby Gail knows. See, and we still can't find the story that Yoko said.
Hold
she
on.
made
Just
love to
shut your
Hillary.
pie hole. Chris is trying to tell us.
Snopes debunked that crazy story.
All right.
It's bullshit,
Whatever.
BL. You're full of shit.
Guess I'll have to text it to Ron from the Rays parking lot. I'm in the middle of having a nice day with the Padres in town.
Shut up. This has nothing to do with it. The point is, you were on the Onion and you thought it was real.
What's the Onion?
That's something your fucking cunny smells like, honey.
Oh my God!
So many layers.
Now,
Oh,
hell yeah.
on.
So many layers, none of them good.
You know what? That's just horrible. You know what? I can't believe nobody believes my Yoko story. It wasn't the Onion that.
No, but it wasn't real. It's been debunked. You got fucking caught like a rube.
Snopes fucking call bullshit on it. They're always right.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm shut down then. I guess I will go have a ballpark.
All right. Here's Joe, Milwaukee.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
In the state of Florida, it only takes 3 witnesses to
We
be
did,
able to
yeah,
put
we did
somebody
this
in
bit the other day. We did this bit. Yeah, we already did the bit the other day. Oh, I swear to God, how can someone give you a neck ache? She gives me a neck ache.
I'm worried about it because it happens every time she calls.
If I had a gun in front of me right now, I'd be dead. I just fucking turn it at myself. But my last words were, "This is so much better."
Hurts less.
Even with the pain through my brain, I feel like the headache is not as bad. Take him on the Padres. She's turned me against baseball. She made me feel like going to a goddamn ball game is the worst thing ever.
I don't know why she kept referring referencing Vegas.
Just take your time. Take your fucking time.
Okay.
All right?
It's exciting, I know.
Why would you try a word like referencing? Why would you go for that?
I should know better. I can't say it.
Eric.
Hello, Bennington.
Hey.
So, BL's Yoko Ono story, if you actually search the story out, besides Snopes, the only other places you find it are right-wing conspiracy websites.
Well, that's BL.
That's BL.
That's our girl.
So, anyhow, have a good day, Bennington.
Now, this is the thing that... This is more of my just annoyance with her. I just get a text. Is it okay? As if, was that a great break? You're a fucking lunatic.
I mean, she's spinning gold for us.
That's just crazy. She's not doing anything that is being, she's just rambling. And then she's like, did it work? Huh? We got him, Benny? As if she and I are a team.
Best
somehow.
thing ever, right? Everything was excellent. Everything about what I did.
You're yelling out nutty shit. Here comes the cowboy.
Yeah, why did she say that? I don't know.
Chris knows.
Yeah, on the
He's a
craps
Vegas
table.
guy.
But I understand, but like...
Have you ever fucking checked craps in your life?
Not like at a casino, but,
Yeah,
you know,
just on
like
the street,
against the wall.
Nickels.
But I still don't understand why she was talking about that. Like,
She
how
knows
did
I love dice.
There was no reason.
That's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying about everything.
Doesn't make
And the fact
sense.
that she's, she's sitting outside of the stadium, so 90% of what her references are just things that she can see at the time.
Well, I know that she likes to take on the girl up the street role, where she's giving us updates.
It's called a streetwalker. And she couldn't get fucking laid at the Olympics. Look who it is. It's our old pal Chuck. Hey, Chuck. Chuck, we got you? Line 6 not working. Hey, Joe. Joe, what's up?
Yo, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Tell this crazy Elvis-loving cunt that if she could do multiple impersonations, it's not multitasking. She meant she's multi-talented.
She doesn't know. I can't help her. I can't say anything that sinks through. She wanted to come back up again, and this was after the last... she was crazy when I did Anthony's show with her. And then she came in the next day, and we were kind of doing a panel, asking questions, stuff that we're going to beat them. She was just stopping it every single time. But she was more depressed than anything. Because she was dumb enough to read Reddit after doing that show.
Oh, God. Why would she do that?
I don't know. We got a cheeseburger after we did it. She's like, that's it, Benny. The old magic back. Old magic back, right, Benny? And I'm actually saying to the waitress, do you realize that this is the second waitress ever hired by Hooters? I'm fucking forcing waitresses to come over and ask her about her early experiences. And they were being so nice to the old bitch, right? So then that's it. I leave. And then I just start getting texts. Fucking getting crushed on Reddit, Benny. Fuck it. I'm never going near another mic again. Save yourself. I go, great idea. I'm saving myself. Don't even take my calls. We'll take your call. I went through any fucking bad thing that somebody had to say about her and took it in.
Well, yeah, I mean, that version of BL when she gets quiet or sad or just like thrown off is almost just as nutty as
yes, and that exists too.
Cannon
yeah,
BL.
That exists just as much as the I'm having fun being nuts. The I don't have this is the same socks I've been wearing for 3 weeks. Like the depression BL is also real. So I said she had to see a shrink before I would ever let her back. And
I know she keeps talking about Christmas, right? Is that what she keeps saying?
I'm going to tell her to come Christmas because we'll be on Christmas vacation. So I'm going to tell her be here Christmas Day. And we'll do the Christmas parade. That's for Elvis. And the Elvis shit that she just... just like still bringing up peanut butter and banana sandwiches as if this was the 70s. Like that should get a giggle. That fucking 50 years ago, a man ate bananas with his peanut butter instead of jelly. We're over it.
Yeah. I mean,
pick up something new for yourself, you fucking lunatic.
But I do like that she likes to give us like the local news or a little tidbit that she read from the day.
Like the Yoko story. I mean, you just read it and you go, how would Yoko, who at the time was with John Lennon, have met Hillary, who was nobody, and then they bang, and then she waits all this time. Yoko doesn't bring it up in 92 or 93 when we would have been thrilled with it. Today, she says off the top of her head, oh, me and Hillary, we did. Paul McCartney just said the other day, Yoko is a Beatle. Yoko is really, a Beatle. And I'm like, a little late, Paul.
Yeah.
It really would have meant a lot to John at one time if you would have just said that.
Or, over the years, as people just villainized her and said she was the worst at any point, really.
Yeah, when they were all screaming, she's the reason the Beatles broke up. He could have said, hey, look, she is a Beatle. Who's this tall family?
I don't know who that is. They are tall, though.
A well-tanned girl was leading them down the hall.
She's getting great sun.
Yeah, even on the palms of her hands and the bottom of her feet. Oh. Then I just wrote back to her. I said, just wrote, perfect. And then she writes, okay, thanks.
It's a relief. She thought that she was rambling like a crazy person,
yeah,
but it turns out it was perfect.
Bunny Kickbutt was mad that the caller called her the C word. Yeah, I know. Some people get offended by the word still. Other people use it leisurely.
I've taken it back. I say it. Ladies say it. I'm comfortable with that. I'm still particularly. I mean, the reason that it's hurtful, it has to have some weight.
Yeah.
We have to find something that you're like, hey, you shouldn't say that.
You need to have women rappers say it, because that's...
Yeah, they do. They love to say it.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Here, I thought I was coming up with an idea.
It's our word.
And the Mets should try to get some runners on base and then hit them in. That's my opinion.
Possible.
Yeah. But I don't like when women...
I don't like when women are around either. It's really annoying.
But I don't like when women tell other women that they can't use it. That bothers me.
Like, you can't use my cunt right now.
I just think women should be able to say, what's up, guns, when they are hanging out with their girlfriends.
But do you want guys to say that to you when the girls are hanging out?
No, I've reclaimed it.
Okay, so we can't.
It's our word.
All right.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to do with honky. Like, it's okay if we say it.
Like, what's up, my honky?
Yeah, that way is good. Or, hey, check out that honky. What's that honky up to? I don't want to hear it from anyone else. You know why it hurts? Because we honk when we talk with our fucking stupid little white noses.
We're very goosey.
We are. Okay, thanks, B. I didn't know if it worked or not. Throbbing headache. Can a person give you a brain tumor?
I'm not sure, but I'm starting to think that every time she calls. I mean, your symptoms are pretty strong.
There goes Fox Force 5. Everybody's just walking by. Chris has booked nobody for us.
They look great.
We were talking about the excitingness of new stars popping out, and those Irish boys were fucking hilarious the other night on the Olympics.
They were so funny. So these are two Irish rowers. They're brothers. Rowers.
Too bad.
It's not the dog Olympics.
Already taken down?
Oh,
Taken
no.
Down. Whatever. You missed it, folks. It was great.
It was the best.
You missed it. It was so good. Kenny Baker died over the weekend, which I would have thought that the Star Wars fanboys would have blown up for, but apparently not, huh?
No, I think of course people did the social media thing. Like a lot of people were talking about it, but it didn't seem as big. The coverage of it was not that big.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was something that would have been crushing to people.
He's been forgotten by the fan base.
Already?
Yeah, they care about CGI. I mean, it's been 4 movies now of just straight CGI where they don't need people doing like practical effects.
Wait, so Kenny Baker hasn't been in since the 70s?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I thought he...
I thought he was always R2-D2.
Yeah, I thought he did all of the films.
I thought they used just a straight up just robot in an R2-D2 machine for the last 3.
Wait. What did you say?
They used a straight up robot in the R2-D2 machine.
Yeah.
That's the fucking shit that you're saying.
What does that mean exactly?
Do you know that you need BL out there to take the fucking heat? Because you couldn't have said anything more BL than that. All right, we got the Irish Rovers back up again. And I believe there's more than one interview now.
Oh, nice. They're the best.
Sausage Fingers is trying to find it for us.
Still down.
Oh, I was hit refresh instead of what you're doing.
Do something else.
All right. I'm sorry. I got bad information, Chris. Coming up in a little bit, Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly is going to be here and talking about his new stage show, Creeps with Kids, which should be fantastic.
It sounds like it's going to be a blast.
All right, you got it now, Chris?
Yeah, got it. Just refresh.
That's a different one, but it's the lower one.
Gary and Paul O'Donovan from Skibbereen, Olympic silver medalists. How does it feel?
It's fantastic. We haven't had too much of a chance yet to come to terms with it. We wanted to win the gold medal and to come out with a silver medal. Like we're just so happy. We can't complain with that.
Paul, go from A to B as fast as you can and pull like a dog. 4th at 500, 4th at 1,000. You pulled fairly hard in that last closing stages of that race.
We did, yeah. We're a little bit disappointed we didn't come with the gold medal. I think we put it up to the French.
That wasn't the one we were talking about. Anyway, fun stuff happening all week. Why don't we take a break here? We will be right back. As I say, Robert Kelly coming up in just a little bit. This is Bennington. It's the Bennington Show. Hey, want to see how many people had to correct Chris Stanley this time? Apparently, Kenny Baker was in every Star Wars film until the last one.
It's exactly
which I guess there was no R2-D2 in.
I think BB-8 took it at the place of R2-D2.
I thought there was like one moment where you see maybe I made that up. I was just hoping.
Peter, do you know?
No, didn't they like hang out? Didn't he give him like a thumbs up in one scene?
No, neither one of them has a thumb.
Well, he gives like a little
out a little lighter and gave a thumbs up in one scene.
I don't have the same love for this stuff as you guys do. I'm sorry. It just stinks. And I know there's already another Star Wars coming out where they show the trailer and Darth Vader turns around. First of all, the back of his head, we were like, I wonder if that's Darth Vader.
That was the reveal. For Rogue One.
Oh, you'll be going though, right, Chris?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be at Rogue One.
That's what people do. They show up at these things.
Well, they have AC.
That'd be heat then. Just nice to sit in the heat for a while.
Just so nice too. Well, I'm homeless, so this is great. This really works out.
Just have some heat. But there used to be a thing when they ran in Times Square, movies all night, that homeless people would go in there and just kind of buy one movie ticket and then just sit all night.
Nice. And get some entertainment out of it.
And yet they would come by and just smack the rows to make sure people were awake. You're like, what do you care? Whether people are sleeping or awake. Just let them, yeah.
There will be a quiz after this movie.
I can't stay awake now as it is when a movie starts. Actually, the other thing, a quiz is the other thing that'll put me right to sleep. Someone says this is going to be on the test. I just find myself drifting off to sleep.
What if you take the quiz? If you fail the quiz, then you have to pay double. But if you get 100% on the quiz, the movie is entirely free. Would you take it?
The people are going to be fucking Googling. You can't do a real test these days.
Stakes are too high here.
You brought up when we were doing a show in Montreal that somebody was sleeping during the show and got caught.
Oh my God, that was the funniest. So that was during the What's Your Fucking Deal show. And it was when Andy Kindler was on stage. And so he's kind of already looking out to the crowd to do crowd work. And then he's just like, is there someone sleeping back there? And only about 2 or 3 people away from me, this dude was sleeping so hard he was mouth open sleeping, like completely slack-jawed.
And we're looking at 9 o'clock at night since Kindler went on first?
Yeah, it was very early. It was not late. Is there anything funnier than seeing somebody catching someone sleeping when their mouth open asleep?
Yeah.
It's the funniest look.
You can't look bright if you're sleeping with your mouth open. Because it looks like you could drown in the rain. I mean, everyone has a right to piss in that mouth if someone's going to do that.
That's a contract you've signed by sleeping mouth open.
By society. Yeah, it is a hilarious thing. It's also funny to be sleeping during any day, any time in public. It's always funny.
Yeah.
It's a private thing to do.
I always think people who are sleeping that hard on the train, I always just assume you've got to be missing your stop. There's no way that you look like you should be in bed. Like that level of sleep.
And yet, there's nothing that makes you tireder more than sitting on the train and kind of the clickety-clack, and you're like, I got 5 stops to go. I'll just sleep for 4 stops.
I've fallen asleep on the train.
I just do it all the time. Just pass out, wake up on Coney Island. It's really
At
bad.
the end of the line?
Or I've realized, oh my God, it's light out. I've gone back and forth multiple times. This is bad. No one even tried to wake me up.
So what? They're not your family.
Sometimes they do. The conductors will go through hey, wake up. You got to get off the train.
But what good's that do you if you're at the end of the line?
Just let me sleep.
Just a little more.
This is nice. Give me 5 minutes. That's the funniest thing when you were asked if you could just sleep for an extra 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Because nothing is refreshing about that next 5 minutes. That's when you leap through time and 5 minutes becomes a second. I let you sleep the 5.
Do you snooze though in the morning? Like do you wake up at the very first time your alarm goes off, or do you give yourself
I don't have the type of job that I have to worry about getting up in the morning. That's where I put myself in my career. So, you know what I mean? I can sleep in.
You naturally wake.
Yeah. I normally naturally wake.
That's nice. That's a good thing. Do you snooze,
I'm
Chris?
constantly snoozing. I hate it for maybe an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
I don't know why.
Then why'd you force yourself to wake up so early?
I don't know. I've gotten
By the way, that
habit.
isn't a snooze. You don't have a thing that the next time it rings is an hour and a half.
No, but I do it for it goes every 15 minutes. So I do that for an hour and a half.
Oh, that's fucking hideous.
I've fallen
and
into
it's bad
this.
for you though.
Is
it?
You're not getting deep sleep.
You're not getting the REM.
You're not getting REM sleep that you need.
That's fucking. I think it's been fucking me up. I've been doing that for the last year, where I've just been.
Dude, you can make up as many excuses as you want for being stupid. We ain't buying anymore.
I refuse to REM sleep, Ron. That's what's wrong with me.
I've always got to snooze at least once. I always give myself 15 minutes. So I set my alarm 15 minutes earlier than I really would like to wake up, knowing that I need that extra 15 minutes to be I feel like I've stole this time. This is great.
I said something horrific today, and this is the honest to God's truth. I said, why are you waking me up to tell me you're making me breakfast when you could just wake me up when the breakfast is done? And that's a terrible thing.
That's not right.
No, I don't feel good about it. But I didn't get to sleep early last night either. I was at a funeral, goddammit. That's my biggest problem. Yeah, now that I'm not in a funeral, I'll be fine. This is fucking Chris stuff. Got my blood test, so everything's okay.
Everything's good. It's not so funerally from here on out. How's the ear doing? I know you're really.
What, you only got one, Chris?
No, a week ago I got some water in the ear and it didn't pop.
Is that why you're not showering now?
That's
You said it's dangerous?
Finally
Another
declared
excuse.
fuck showers. But then over the weekend I belched and it popped and it was the fucking best
Ew.
feeling in the world. I can't tell you
That's
how
so gross
good
to me.
that felt.
Because
A belch so deep.
It seems like it should take place in a hobo comic strip. Here's the weird thing. You find him grotesque, and yet you're always interested, and you bring
I
it
can't
up
help it.
so that he'll do it. That's your own weird fetish, that you want to hear the horrible stories that he's willing to tell.
I want to explain to you when I see him stick knives into his ears.
Literally steak knives.
Yeah, I saw him stick a pocket knife halfway to the blade into the ear.
This is a good scratch.
To scratch.
Mike in Vermont.
Hey there, Bennington. How
Hey.
you doing? Just calling to let you know that I'm a state worker up here in Vermont, and we got the day off for Bennington Battle Day.
That's what we call Sundays in our family, Bennington Battle Day. I think me and Gail will come up next year for a parade. Is there a parade anywhere?
I have no idea.
We would
I
love
live on
to
my
be
couch.
considered descendants of the Bennington battlefield.
Yeah, I feel that the town of Bennington, some sort of, welcome home party for us.
What about we do it on Bennington pontoon boats, and we're just
That's great.
riding by, waving from our
Like put the pontoon boat on the float.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or flood the entire street with water, and then let a pontoon boat come with them by, and it's
That's
us.
better.
And we're waving the Bennington flag. Yes, we do have our own Bennington flag.
There is a Bennington flag. It's an excellent flag. It's got the big 76 on it, and then a strange frowny face of stars.
Yeah.
It's a very cool look.
It's better than the stars and bars. You know what I mean? That should be our country's flag. Because, 76 is when it gets started.
Yeah. It's a good look. And not so muddled with stars, like an appropriate amount.
No, not where you're like, if you're a little kid and you're trying to make it, you're like, wait, how many rows do I make? Is it 5 rows of 10? How do we line this up?
Also, the bars are inverted on the Bennington flag.
Did not even notice that.
So the white is
More
on
white.
top.
More white.
Yeah. As opposed to the red.
Never knew that. Good call. Good eye there.
Thanks.
Way to get to it.
I think it is the superior flag. What do you think is the best country's flag?
Oh, this one isn't even close. It's Brazil. Brazil looks like it's a flag for another planet. It looks like Jupiter decided to make their own thing.
Yeah.
I'm also a fan of blue and green together. When I was a kid, I was told it doesn't match.
Really?
But it's very welcoming to my eye.
I think it looks great. It's also the cosmos color.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's because they wanted to be the Brazil.
Exactly. It was an homage to the Brazil team.
Vito is leaning forward, nose on Mike. That means he's got an answer. Can you beat Brazil?
Yeah, and I think just for the simple fact that it looks fucking dope as a bandana, you gotta go to Japan.
Japan?
That's too dumb. It's minimalist.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's really easy. It's like 60s art.
Is that... Now, which one are you going with? The big stripe or just the red?
I'm talking the red dot.
And
in
that's
the middle of
it?
the white flag. Yeah, I think it's cool. If you wear it as a bandana, you look like you know your shit. And it's just fucking...
That's because they know martial arts, and you're just acting like... Instead of knowing martial arts, you're disagreeing, Chris?
No, I mean, if you're going to go Japanese flag, go with the stripes.
Now, is that done? Is that a real flag, though?
Where is that used?
Andy Warhol's house?
Yeah, I don't know when that's used. I mean, they use just the red dot as their
Yeah,
flag.
that's the official flag.
So what's the other one?
That's just a stylized thing. We're talking about the beautiful
Chris
sun
got very
flag.
quiet because he made mistakes earlier, so he just shut it down. All right, Chris, instead of trying to run that down, give us your flag.
Union Jack. The Union Jack is badass looking.
Only with the Who. It's the only time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The problem with that flag is it's one that kid can't draw themselves.
I was thinking that. Like but it's good. Style wise, it looks great.
I actually think a state flag is the best flag of all time, and that's Chicago.
Chicago was in a state, you fucking lunatic.
Sorry, city flag. Fuck.
What is it like to be that dumb, you know?
What a moron, right?
All right, Gail, what do you got?
I've always liked Mexico's like bird of prey clutching the snake.
I feel like they ripped Italy off.
I think it's a cool look.
Well, first of all, as far as ripping Italy off, no one knows who was the first person to do that ice cream bar of white, red, and green, but far too many people have it. And I'd be screaming if I lived in Italy or Ireland or France or anywhere that has a dull-ass flag.
What about Jamaica's flag? I think that's a cool thing. You've got the yellow and green plus the black.
That's weird. I never even noticed that. I'll put that in as one of my favorites.
That's a good style one.
Yeah, it's a good style one, good colors. Vito, now you brought up the Chicago flag. You obviously don't mean that, right?
No, I meant the city of Chicago. I really like their flag.
All right, let's see. I didn't know the city of Chicago had a flag. This is all news to me.
It's 4 misshapen stars.
They're 6-point stars, Chris.
They're misshapen.
How are they misshapen?
They look
dude?
misshapen to me.
If it's a star, it's a 6-pointed star.
It's my favorite flag. I think it's really dope. It's aesthetically pleasing. And I've seen a lot of people with really cool tattoos of it.
First of all, let me just say this. I wasn't familiar that they have this. I do like it, though. But if we're going to now drop countries minutes into this discussion, instead of letting it expand, New Hampshire's Live Free or Die is better than any fucking countries. No, I'm talking about just the snake that's cut into...
Oh, is that their flag? They used the segmented...
I thought that they did. So you segmented it out and the Don't Tread on Me.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The fact that a fucking flag can threaten you.
Yeah, it's a very
A fucking
aggressive...
flag will just be like, we will fuck you up. I'd be like, I don't even know if I want to go there. All right, where's that from? That's
the
school?
join or die. So that is join the union, I believe.
Yeah.
Or be like this chopped up, segmented snake. Which I don't know if that one was a state flag, but I know it was like a popular one of that time.
Hey, Eric. Eric, what do you got?
You know, I think South America's winning the flag battle. Brazil's obviously awesome. Uruguay's flag is pretty kick-ass.
Well, so let's take a look at it. I don't like just having the smiley face sun.
It looks like it's from Game of Thrones. It looks like they're from Dorne.
It looks like it should be on your phone somewhere.
Now, here's one that I think is interesting is Nepal. Their flag is not a rectangle. And it might be the only one that is not a rectangle. And I think that's kind of badass.
I agree. It looks like something a knight should be carrying.
It's a medieval flag.
And it's kind of a cool look. It's like the setting sun, the moon, the star. It's got cool vibes.
Viva Nepal. Rob in Indy.
You know what? Hello, Bennington, by the way. I was going to say the Canadian flag rocks, but you know what, guys? Ron, you just put me into a complete flashback with the blue and green. My mom used to say that when I was a kid, that blue and green didn't match. And I'm like, well, what about the Seattle Seahawks? You know, they had green and blue and all that. And I'm totally freaking out here. I haven't thought about that whole combo.
My mom was always telling me something didn't match every day I was trying to go to school. And I'd be like, I'm in 3rd grade. No one fucking cares about matching. You know? Take that back up. I go, first of all, why would we even have clothes that don't match? Let's get a uniformed look. The Canadian flag is a fine flag.
I think it's a great flag.
But what I like when you're in Montreal, they will put Quebec's flag above the Canadian flag, which would start a war in the United States.
Yes, that would be a sign of disrespect.
Now, the Quebec flag also looks like it's from the Middle Ages. Also looks like the Blue Knight should come out with that.
I like the classic Maple Leaf flag a lot.
Here's Greg. Thanks for the addition. Greg, what's up?
Oh, hey, yeah, just clarifying the Don't Tread on Me flag. That goes all the way back to the Revolutionary War days. I think there's like 13 segments on that snake, if I remember correctly.
But that's different than the join or die flag that Gail brought up, even though it's in together. But I like the fact of you're stepping on a snake, Bubba. You're fucking around in the wrong neighborhood.
Good job, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. We're very excited about tonight's show. A lot of people coming out to see it. One person who, at the last moment, said, "Fuck you, Benningtons," is our own Hard Rock Johnny.
Oh, no, Johnny.
First, you don't show up with a steak and lobster for Chris's surprise party.
No, tell me about the surprise.
Then you put your name up as Dr. Steve on my phone. And now this.
I know. I'm not happy about this at all.
Should I cancel the Go-Go's as well, or are they still coming?
The Go-Go's are a go-go.
Going to a go-go, everybody.
I submit for you the flag of Barbados. Okay. I was watching this opening ceremony. Pull it up and check it out.
Right. This is a strange flag.
It's got an Aquaman trident on it, and I just think it's kind of, you got a superhero flag? Come on.
It does look like something Neptune would have. This is a great flag.
That is a really good one.
It's very, just a couple of colors. Nice.
Hey, dude. They're Barbadians.
No. Colors, not colored.
Here's another really surreal, weird one. The Isle of Man flag.
I'm not familiar with this either.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
By the way, I do like the name Isle of Man, though.
It's a very good name. It's also a great flag.
This is a badass fucking flag.
So this is like a weird, three-legged, weird dream. Yeah, it's very surreal. But I think it's pretty badass and kind of intimidating. Like, they're fucking weird over there. Like, they get weird.
That's why nothing beats the pirate flag to this day. The pirates, the Jolly Roger, is simply the greatest flag that's ever happened.
Pure intimidation.
Yes.
You know exactly what you're getting into. This is a deadly situation.
And it's scary as shit.
It's very scary. Now, I would say if we're talking about city flags, also same level of intimidation and coolness. The flag of St. Petersburg, Florida.
All right, let's take a look.
They
call it the Berg now.
Very cool look.
Sausage fingers getting to it.
It's a rainbow flag with a pelican.
I've never seen that before.
It's a terrible flag.
It's hilarious. I'm obsessed with it. And I thought it was the weirdest thing. Like, even as a kid, I'm like, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Who flies it down there, though?
There are people who fly it, in front of their business, the St. Petersburg flag.
I always think it's funny when I see people just flying American flags in front of their house. I'm like, we know this is America, dude.
We support.
I could see if somebody was on the coast and put up an American flag, like to let people know where they just drove up to. But when you're in the middle of the country, we know it's America. You don't have to put the flag up. We get it. I think it's also weird when people just put like a Redskins, and we're like, who cares what you're watching in your house?
They love them.
Just so you know, this is who we support in this house.
Johnny, what lie did you come up with that you couldn't come tonight?
I just said I can't come. I got some personal business to take care of today.
In other words, you and your wife hate us.
No. I don't know. I can't speak for my wife, but she loves Gail, by the way.
I adore her.
Gail nonstop.
Everyone loves Gail. That's cheating. To love me is the tough thing to pull off.
Who doesn't love you is the question. Not who does.
Apparently, the Hard Rocks.
The entire company.
All right, Johnny.
Have a good time.
Let me send you the one-way love from me to you. Nothing back, though. Nothing back.
Awful.
Hey, Jay. What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? One of the most sinister-looking flags is the Albanian flag, the weird red and black.
That's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that is very Thronesy.
They get
House Albania. Right?
Let's all tug at the same time.
They get that tattooed all the time, and it looks fucking dope on every tattoo you see that Albanian
He's
people get.
very much into what people get tattooed. That's very important to him.
You should get tattoos. It seems like
That's what you
think
want?
about them.
I just like looking. I don't like getting.
Yeah, well, you're a child. That's why. But he's always like, this badass tattoo of the Chicago flag. Get one for yourself.
You don't have to be from Chicago.
Sure,
You can like live your own life.
That'd be pretty weird.
I'm getting sin in bed on my hands.
What's that?
Anyone who watches a certain show will know it.
Mm.
The show, it happened last night
Damn
up
it.
in Harlem. I don't think he did it. Andrew.
Hey, for the record, I bet Johnny's crabbing tonight. Check the tides. But
boy.
Monaco and Indonesia have the same exact flag, and it's the laziest flag out there. Half red, half white.
It is
That sucks.
lazy.
Is it the most simplistic? Is there any flag that's just like one color?
Yes, and that means we surrender. We
Lazy.
Yeah, we give up completely. Could you imagine just like they had a debate? We want a red flag. No, we should have a white flag. Look, I don't want to spend all day with this. We got red and white. Just make the top half red, bottom half white. Can the top half be white? No. I already fucking said.
I've never seen the Milwaukee flag till just now. You should look that one up.
Okay, we will.
That's too complex.
Yeah,
that is way too much going on.
Flag inside the flag.
You don't want a logo
That's hilarious.
that is busy. It's a known fact.
Like, how many windows within the cityscape would you have to draw?
That's bigger than Milwaukee is. That Milwaukee's flag should say, Milwaukee, if you're white, be careful at night. We're really going through a weird time right now.
Wow.
Since a shooting.
I can't believe how ridiculous.
It looks like an amusement park flag.
You have to have a logo. Nike proves this. Apple proves this. The people can look at and get. It cannot be busy. If you're going to have a logo up there, it cannot be something that people are stopping and going, why is there an Indian head? And why is there another flag? And
looks like that's like either a magic genie or a spaceship. Right
either way, it doesn't matter. It means that we stink at a flag.
Just couldn't make a decision.
I don't know if any city needs a flag. I'm going to be totally honest.
They don't. States barely need flags.
Barely.
Barely have use for them.
Barely. I'm not saying they don't.
I mean, they definitely do need them, but not much.
Frank.
Hey, what's up? Best flag / soccer jersey is Croatia, the checkerboard. It's pretty, I love it.
It's just a checkerboard. What do you like about a checkerboard?
There's a weird little goat in one of the triangles at the top.
Is that a cat
next to it? First of all, that flag's bad enough for me to demand an attack. I'll get it to the Trump people.
That's just a French flag with a logo in front of it.
Trump took a step back yesterday and did just a speech that he wrote and read.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more boring.
Yeah.
I know everyone gets mad because he's going to say something crazy, but it's such better entertainment than if he's just reading something.
And I think it's more truthful to what he wants to do with this. You know, I think wasn't the whole thing like, hey, I'm not a politician. I'm not going to behave like a politician.
That's why Pence was the worst decision he's ever made.
I know.
Because that dude is nothing but a politician. And I'm getting more and more like, I got to see Trump win. You know?
Really?
Yeah. I just don't want this to end. I want it to just keep going. I want to see what happens.
I don't know. It's probably going to be pretty brutal.
It's okay. I want to be here for it. I want to just see. Either that or it could be great. We know it's not going to be great with Hillary. It's going to be the same. Her fucking theme song should be same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Every time she comes out.
That'd be pretty cool.
You might ask yourself. She is She's trying every day just not to be Trump. She's trying to be as boring as possible to let something that he said during the day make the news. And then I don't know whether you've seen any of these commercials, but basically it's just like, can you imagine if this motherfucker becomes president? And just showing 7 different crazy things Trump said.
You know, I, over the weekend, had a dream that somehow I was able to have Fleetwood Mac's, like I now own Fleetwood Mac's entire catalog.
The box set?
No, just like I owned their music.
Oh, this is a dream.
This is a dream.
Okay, yeah. So you decide whether Fleetwood Mac's song can be used.
Exactly.
This is okay. A nutty dream.
Hold on. So then I'm talking with you guys, okay? So all of you are in the room, and then somebody comes in, he looks like Secret Service, and he's like, Mr. Trump would like to speak to you. And Donald Trump comes in and makes me an offer for $3 million to buy he was like, look, even if it's worth more, like now you don't have to deal with all the crap of like, you know, trying to figure out how to do this. $3 million right here, right now, sign this, and I get Fleetwood Mac's entire catalog. I was like, can I have some time to discuss it? So I'm with you two, and I'm going, guys, what do I do here? It's $3 million. And then somebody in the room shouts out, he only wants it so he can play Don't Stop, Bill Clinton's song. He wants to be able to use that to get in Hillary's head. And then you just kept saying, do it. It's going to be hilarious. You're going to get $3 million. It's going to be hilarious television. Sign the paper.
The thing that I hate is worth a lot more than that.
I know it would be.
I mean,
and
if
even
you
he was
said
honest
he came
about
in
it.
with $300 million or $30 million.
I know.
And plus, I would never say do it. I said, let's negotiate. If this fucking fish is on the hook, you know what I mean? Let's see what else we could do. We can end up staying in fucking Mar-a-Lago for a while if we want. We also need 6 months in Mar-a-Lago. Final offer, my friend, because I'm ready to walk out that door. I'm walking, Donald. I'm walking.
Come back.
You better. Oh, you called me back then. Thank you for blinking, my friend. Now let's get down to brass tacks. And also, well, won't you be disappointed if the Trump thing stops, or are you bored with it?
I feel like we've had such a great run. Like, I think at this point, we've had our fun. You know,
I can't imagine life without it. Put up, see if the John Oliver thing went up when he was showing, when Trump was handing out, when Trump grabbed a graph that he was looking at. It was one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life, and I was watching this like 1 o'clock in the morning last night, and I couldn't imagine how happy it made me. I just hit it for a second. Is this the one, Chris?
Yeah, this is him talking about Trump's chart.
Yeah.
All about his economic plan. And to be fair, he did try to get back onto a focused economic message on Friday. It's just by that point, the prompters were gone, and he was back to doing what he does best.
I love these boards. Look, here's the beauty. I love charts. And I always said, it's too tough putting a screen up. You got to get guys, cost too much money. I don't like to spend money. This is a cheap version of a screen, okay? Just as good. But you need good, strong hands. So look, you ready? Oh, there it is.
What? That is just magnificent. Just to recap, he picks up a chart and says, here's a beauty. He then utters with a straight face the sentence, I love charts, before unconvincingly claiming that only someone with big, strong hands can hold a chart up. And then he turns
when you choose a pint of Ben & Jerry's Coors.
What was that?
Terrifying.
What was that in the middle of our comedy? You just had so many windows up, you know what you're doing?
It was a pop-up.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. YouTube does not do pop-ups.
There's a pop-up on another site.
Yes, you got to take the fucking things down as they come out. Anyway, that kind of shit, I'll miss if they take it away from us.
There's no one like him. We're never going to have another race that is ever going to feel like this. That's for sure. But even 4 years from now, 8 years from now, no matter what ends up happening.
This is it.
Like,
This is
it
the
can't
best.
get any
This is
weirder.
the best that ever happened. But when he was doing that thing with the chart, it reminded me of being a little kid and some older guy in your family said, let me come in and show you this thing in the garage. And then you end up seeing like 50 things. And he doesn't realize that he's overwhelmed your little fucking brain. What is she doing? What is she doing?
Dancing?
I wanted to get the straight dope on what's going on with her health-wise. All right, it's the Bennington Show. Robert Kelly's going to be here in 15 minutes, but Johnny Go-Go is giving us a call. Hey, Johnny.
What's up, buddies?
What's up, Johnny Go-Go?
This is what we're going to do for Johnny Go-Go now. Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny, he likes us.
unlike Johnny Hard Rock, I'm showing up tonight.
Yeah, I know. You're the real deal, my friend.
You're the real Johnny.
My wife's quote was, she's like, I really hope I don't pee myself.
I hope she does.
That's how I'll know we've done a great job. That's how I want to measure the show.
I'm totally excited about the Comedy 101 judges tonight. They are being kept secret.
Give us a hint, Ronnie.
One judge that we have, no one will ever guess because there has been no connection between us and this judge at any time in the past.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even try to guess that one.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. I only say because we live in the world of radio, while this person lives in the world of television. Somebody from Star Trek. I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, one quick question on flags. I know we're bouncing around with Trump and flags.
Yeah.
Imagine a Trump flag, how great it would be. It'd be a big T with a dollar sign or something fun.
I don't know
like that.
why he doesn't have a flag.
It seems like he would be the kind
flag.
of guy who would have his own flag.
Now, you're a marketing guy, Johnny. Is Trump a great marketer, or is there too much negative stuff to make it great?
Listen, here's the weird thing about Trump. And when I say this as a PR guy, everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. But I think he should win every award. And we do year-end awards for best PR campaign. The amount of coverage he's gotten without doing traditional TV advertising is unreal. The local grassroots stuff, the campaign stops, CNN, CNBC, Fox News talking about him every day. And you see how in bed these candidates are with networks. But like as an outsider, to kind of break the molds and break through the Ted Cruzes and the Bushes, I don't know about you guys, but I was convinced like it would just be like another Bush, another Clinton, then Chelsea Clinton, in a couple of years she's the Clinton, then there's another Bush kid. And I was like, are we really the country that only two families can run this country? And when you look at what Trump has done, just from an outsider perspective, and I say this and like, again, all politics aside, but I would love to see, and it's only 4 years, so I don't think he can, destroy the country because I think safeguards are in place to kind of keep it at bay, but I think it would shake up the country so much that really good people would come and run in 4 years or
to try to save
3
us.
years from now and try to save us. So I think from a country standpoint, it would be a really crazy experiment, but just from a straight marketing standpoint, what this guy's done is off the charts. Amazing. It's really great. That I can't imagine being his PR guy or PR girl. Just the amount of calls and coverage he gets every day is just got to be crazy to keep up with.
They said that it's approaching $2 billion worth of free publicity that he's gotten since a year and a half ago that he's run, and it is almost for the news networks has almost been nonstop Trump talk. Now, that is also starting to backlash against him, where, if they would have had this election a month or two ago, 3 months ago, it might have been his. And who knows, it may again. I mean, there could be a backlash against the backlash, but it's all about that kind of timing. But no one in my lifetime has owned TV the way he has.
If you go to any website and just count the Trump stories on any given day, it's insane how much he dominates.
And then people will say, well, why don't you bring up Hillary and she did because it seems dull, because his stuff is so much more fun.
Yeah.
Hers is traditionally old lawyer politics bullshit. It's not fun.
Yeah, I think when, you know, and again, doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. If you just think that the Bushes and the Clintons are the only people who can run this country, like that's what's screwed up about the whole system.
Well, it goes to show for people that say that we're in democracy, we do like royal families. The Kennedys were a royal family for a while. Then the Bushes became a royal family. Oddly, the Clintons are. But people also talk about Trump's family now. They're like, I'd like to see Ivanka run. And they mean it. You know, they mean it.
Absolutely. They mean it. Hey, while I have you guys, what's a good spot downtown to grab a little bite before the show tonight with my wife?
Well, you're going to be in the Village. So let's think of what is perfect.
And whisper it, Ronnie, so no one else hears. You're on national radio.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I'll just email it to you. I'm going to email it to you. That's a really good point. Somebody will show up and just hit you in the back with a fucking, just a sock full of hot quarters. All right.
Can't wait for tonight, guys.
All right, peace.
Peace. See you tonight.
Dinner and a show. That's a nice night out.
It's a great night. It's the perfect night out.
Well, Johnny's just the opposite. It's crabbing and watching Big Brother live feeds.
That's not so bad.
Now that you guys are off the Paulie bandwagon, are you finally going to say Paul's running the season?
Paul's going to fucking take it all the way.
I told you guys Victor too, and everyone laughed at me.
I know.
But Victor is in good shape.
If you look at the bounce back between Paul and Victor, both of them in positions that they easily could have been kicked out early. And then Victor coming back into the house, that's automatically people pick that person as their first target. They're like, okay, this is easy. You're not going to mess with the house if everyone just says this guy goes. We've already voted him out.
But this is what Paul's got going for him. He plays the game without caring too much and taking it personal. It's just a game.
Yep.
The way anyone should play any game. You know what I mean? For some reason, you know, you look at Paulie and he was doing well, but he went like Stanford fucking experiment very quickly. I mean, he got nuts.
It looks like he went crazy.
He's had a complete breakdown the last 3 days.
He cried over a butterfly.
But I'm telling you guys this. When he was in charge, he had a breakdown. You just didn't see it. But it was the megalomania to that. Like somehow he was really in charge of things. And he wasn't. So you're just now seeing the way he acts at the bottom as opposed to the way he acts at the top. They're both insane.
But he obviously felt superior when he was on the top rather than, I'm doing well at this game we're all playing because it's a game.
Which in a way is a breakdown. Which one of the girls can win?
I say Nicole. No, not Nicole. Natalie, excuse me. Natalie, not Nicole.
I think it's going to be a girl winner this year. And I think Natalie's my number one choice for the winner right now.
Because you just saw her have a good week.
No,
you're no different than Paulie.
I think she's going to win because she's in such a good place. Nobody has any issue with her. Nobody's going to put her up. She's going to get by on James. James is going to eliminate it first, and then she's going to coast to the end. Somebody's going to bring her to the final two thinking she won't get the votes, and then she'll get the votes.
Why? Why would she get the votes?
Because
why would you throw her a single vote?
Everybody likes her in the jury house.
Likes isn't enough to win the game.
This house is different.
What females are left? Natalie, Nicole,
and Michelle the nut.
Big Meech.
Yeah, it's Natalie is probably the only option if there's going to be a female.
Why not
winner.
Nicole? Nicole has played a very easy game this year.
But it seems like she's also made some enemies.
She made an enemy because she won't help anyone, and that's been her strategy.
Yeah.
No one's getting my help. I'm with a big dumb ball player who I jerk off every once in a while. There was a lot of sex in the house this year, probably more than any other year.
Yeah, Paulie and Zakiya were having sex regularly, and then a lot of masturbation.
No,
twice.
That's not masturbation.
Regularly was twice.
And then Paulie bragged about it to the house after Zakiya got eliminated, which is pretty fucked up.
Why? What are we, children?
Wait, what did he do? Oh.
He said, this is how we did it.
I got it in.
He goes, they said something about him and her like not getting along at the end, and he goes, oh, really? If we didn't get along that well, then why'd we bone last night?
That's a good comeback, though.
He He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's real cool.
He cried over a butterfly, and he cried while waving a flag. He was sitting there waving a flag and crying.
Wait, hold on. Why did he cry over a butterfly?
He was sitting there and a butterfly flew over, and he's just looking at the butterfly and goes, yeah, your boy has feelings, your boy's sensitive. You think he might have a tough exterior, but he has feelings, and then just watched it fly away and cried. He's
lost it.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure being locked in that fucking place all year. I mean, we don't realize how much pressure they feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking that more people just aren't, like, covering themselves with shit, just, like, running around crazy.
Yeah, he really lost it because he lost something, and they were saying you have to make apple pies, and he started, I'm not making apple pies for everyone.
He's threatening to walk out of the jury house if he goes there. He says he has bad claustrophobia.
He probably does.
It can't be any more claustrophobic than this.
Yeah, but there's no cameras. He stops being famous. That's the thing that bothers him.
There's no more competitions.
All right, we're going to break. Right back. Robert Kelly is going to be in with us. This is Bennington. Robert Kelly is here and wearing the same glasses I believe that I see you wearing on Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll.
Well, it's the weird thing is that it's the reverse. These are my glasses.
Yeah.
And he saw, I went in with a table read.
Yeah.
And he just put it in the show.
That's so funny. But then it's all like, oh, look at the ridiculous glasses.
Yeah, I'm
that
trying
our drummer has.
Well, it's weird because I needed glasses because I can't read. They're reading glasses.
Yeah.
But I also can't, when I drive, I can't read far away. Something happened to my eyes. I just woke up, I couldn't read anymore. And
what happened to you is called age, where your eyeballs don't work the way they did when they were younger.
But that's the first thing of age that happened to me. I just thought, I didn't know what, I read blurry for a year.
Everybody does it. And it literally happens right about the time that you're early 40s, where you just go, the fuck is wrong with this magazine? You don't realize, because I remember even being younger, and I thought people who wore glasses were bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like other kids in school who said, I can't read without glasses. Like, fuck you.
Well, I didn't want to.
He made it up.
I didn't want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like with the glasses on the head.
Yeah.
Because I got reading glasses, but I would take them off and then I'd smudge them with my fingers, and I'm always eating something. So there was always some sauce on them, and I had to clean them. It was just that. So I wanted to have glasses that I could just keep on my face. So they're bifocals.
You got bifocals.
So down the bottom, I read. Up the top, I can read signs far away. Right in the middle, I see everything regular. So I don't have to take them off.
But here's the thing. The only bifocals that work for me are the Ben Franklin. Like, his glasses were the same size as the bifocals.
I think you'd look good in those.
Well, I've got to stay away from looking like Mum as it is right now with my hair. Now, you have put together, this is what's great is happening in comedy right now, is like these theme shows. But when you pitched me this idea for me to host for you, it's Creeps with Kids, because you have so many friends that were crazy comics for years, but are now starting families.
Yes.
Who even thought of this?
Yeah, I mean, Jim Florentine has a child.
A child that, according to him, he loves.
He loves it. No, but he does. He loves them, but he does it. You know, anytime you see comedy on TV, it's always the khaki dude with a button-up shirt, and he goes to the soccer game, and they have dinner at 5, and the kid goes to bed, and he tucks him in, and then they go read under a fucking, they both have chairs with lamps, and all the guys I know, including myself, when you have a kid, and you know too, because your kid is here, but it's, we're fucking nuts. We do a lot of creepy shit, and our parenting isn't really, what you see on TV, and comedy never shows that too. And it's like, I was watching Florentine's kid's birthday party, and there's this metal band, and it's like, what the fuck is that? My kid stays up whenever. I don't care. Go to bed. I don't stay up, hang out. You know what I mean?
Does that sound familiar to you at all, Gail?
Yes. I don't think I was ever told to go to bed.
I didn't realize that it was a big deal at the time.
You know what was a strange thing for me was having to be explained the concept of dad jokes. Because I was like, are hilarious, right? Like, really funny. Like, that idea of, like, your dad makes corny, terrible jokes.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I didn't have that experience.
No, you have a dad that makes really funny, holy shit, observational, crude, funny jokes.
But that's the thing. I think that don't you end up riffing with your kid sometimes? Like, this is funny, you know?
Yeah, my kid was like, my kid would be like, Daddy, I want to, it's 9:30. My kid's like, I want to go outside. And it's like, all right, let's go. And we walk out in the front. And my wife's like, put shoes on him. Why? What he steps in something? Yeah. Who cares? What? And there was rabbit poo. It's pellets. It's not, it's hard poo. It's like, you can eat that. Yeah. You put it in your mouth. You can't even, you're going to taste it for 10 seconds. But it's, Florentine, of course, Voss. Bonnie has a kid with Voss, which is what the...
Yeah.
I don't even understand.
That was a giant mistake, and everybody knew it going in, but they're doing okay.
We are doing okay. We're the parents... I want to do a show with the parents that don't read the books.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think... I never read I read like 3 pages of a book. I got all the apps, and I was like, yeah, whatever. This isn't happening. I wanted to read the people that got the bing bing when it fell on the floor the first time, and they just put it right back in his mouth. Not the second kid. That always happens with the second kid.
All right, this is going down Tuesday, August 30th at the Village Underground in New York City. I'm going to host this for Robert, but Robert Kelly, Jim Florentine, Bonnie McFarlane, Louis J. Gomez, who is like the youngest out of everybody who...
But he's Puerto Rican, so he's actually the oldest to have a kid in Puerto Rican ages.
In his culture,
he should have. Yeah, exactly. He should have had a kid like 15 years ago.
They thought he was gay for many, many years because he hadn't had an outside baby yet.
His kid should be very close to his age.
Yeah.
But the fact that he has a kid and he's a great dad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think he'd be a lunatic, but he's a great dad.
Well, I see him on Periscope. He's got a tough kid too, because he's into, martial arts and fighting. Yeah. The kid is picked up on it.
Yeah.
And the kid looks like he could end up holding the belt one day.
I don't know about that. I mean, him and my kid got together one day, and my kid bumped him in the head. Like, literally knuckled him in the head, knocked him down. He started crying.
Right, so
my kid just didn't even say sorry. Got up and walked away.
So maybe what we need to do is this is the show. It's kid fights.
Put them in the ring, see what happens.
Oh, Lewis would do that in a second. He would love it. Yeah. He would be, you pussy, get up. Kick Max in the nuts, the baby nuts.
It's the comedyseller.com for tickets, but I'm predicting greatness out of the show, and you were stoked for it the second you thought of it.
I was, because I have kid material, but then I'm sitting there and I'm watching, Lewis is with his kid, and I'm watching Florentine with his kid, Big J, Rich. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah,
we all have these kids, and all these people I know are just fucking. I mean, I know, someday I'm going to have to explain a lot of shit to my kid because of the age we're in and the podcasting, the radio shows, the videos I've done, some of the acting work I've done. He's going to go, Dad, what the fuck? What's going on? I'm going to have to explain to him why, I did half the shit I did. So it's a different time to be a parent. It's not...
Because that information is going to stay. You can't have secrets anymore.
No, we're all fucked up. Yeah. I mean, everything you did, she knows.
Yes, but that's because I'm not a complete hider about it. But even if I was, we were at a funeral, and how quick did people in my family start trying to out me for shit that happened decades ago?
Yeah, immediately.
And they're just, we're sitting there over my dead aunt's body, and they're going, well, that was the night that you got in the fight after the thing, and weren't you guys dealing out of there? And just I'm here with my family. Let me say a prayer over my aunt before we get back into this. No one wants, no one would ever say, "Oh yeah, you got an A in math." That never would come up. But people love, like they embrace, badness. That's memories for people.
Yeah, of course. It's the only connection people have. And it also happens when, like, you have two friends that don't know each other.
Right.
The way they become friends or bond in that uncomfortable situation is the same thing.
Right.
It's like telling each other what a piece of shit you are.
Right.
Which I always hate. Well, it's like, this is Gary and this is Mike. Oh yeah, this guy's a fucking asshole. Hey, wait a minute, dickhead. I don't know what the fuck I don't have. Now you're not my friend, so I hope you guys get along because it's fucking you two now.
Right.
Go fuck yourself. Well, thanks for coming to my birthday party.
Now let's look. I'm thinking of all your friends.
Oh God.
The only people who don't have children.
Yes.
Jim Norton.
Jim Norton
is the only one.
Well, yeah.
Anthony Cumia doesn't have children, but he does date them, so that gives him. That's like he understands.
He understands. He knows. He knows when you got to change a diaper.
Parenting. That's parenting.
I pee. He's heard. I pee in my poopies. I got it. Relax.
You don't have to be a father to be called daddy. That's the great thing.
Yeah. Anthony has a changing station in his bedroom.
This is going to be so much fun. So it's Creeps with Kids.
Yeah.
Go to comedyseller.com for tickets. These tickets are going to go fast because this light bulb went out for Bobby, and then he goes, "Oh, I got Florentine, I got Bonnie, I got Louis J. Gomez." But you asked me to do it because we were doing that town hall with your whole team.
Yeah.
And that was, by the way, a great day, and I heard back from a lot of people about that. That was a lot of fun.
That was a good time.
Yeah,
because I always walk by that thing and see people in there on my way to doing Opie and Jim or whatever show I'm doing here.
Yeah,
and then to be in there and doing it was fucking surreal for me.
I thought it was great too. Is like when you're with actors, it's really like you start to riff, and they're just like, "Oh shit, we don't even have a script."
Oh yeah.
They're like, "Now what do we do?"
Yeah, me and Larry actually at one of the press things got into like a fight, but we were joking,
right?
Like my belt buckle. We were in this panel, and my belt buckle was digging into my stomach. I got some new fancy belt buckle because I thought we were just doing stand-up press or sit down for a couple seconds press.
Right.
Not fucking panel for a half hour press. So I was cutting myself. I was literally cutting myself open with this fucking. So I was like, look, if this is going to keep going, I just stood up and undid my belt. And Larry's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing what you don't have to worry about doing.
Right.
And he's like, and then he started going, we're fighting, and everybody's like, well, are you guys all right? It's like, yeah, we're fine. We're comics. This is what we do. We bust balls.
So that's fun for him too to have that energy around.
Larry's great, man, and what's really funny? John Corbett.
Yeah, but his life is so great. I don't want to hear his jokes. You know what I mean?
Why? Because of Bo?
Because of Bo, and because he's had so much success. His life has been fantastic.
Yeah, but he was made by gods.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
He's like, he has hairless legs.
Yeah.
Which, let me tell you something. This is my theory. If you have hairless legs and arms, God's made you.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If they took the hair off your legs, your arms, and left your pubes, God made you. You understand? Like, I'm not made by God. Look at me. Look at the hair. It's just, I have a little around my nipples. I have some on my belly button. It looks like my stomach looks like a face. Okay? My pubes go up to my belly button now. It's, bleh.
Well, this is the other thing about Corbett. He's got, he's a great looking guy, successful career. He's with Bo Derek.
Yeah.
And then they live on this ranch in California. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they live in the middle of nowhere in fucking El Cucamundo, whatever fucking Cucamundo town they live in near something. And he has
horses are running by.
He's got horses. He's got a farm, but they actually work the farm.
Yeah.
He just fell off a ladder and really hurt himself too, which was sad. I felt bad for him. Here's his angle.
Of some beautiful Mexican-looking hacienda building. But he was in... did he tell you, Vito, that he had listened to that thing and loved it?
Yeah, he told me. I went up to him to get something signed by him, and he was like, oh, I actually listened to that town hall. It was great.
Yeah, he was bummed that he didn't get to do it.
Yeah. Well, he's on the other coast.
Yeah, we broke his ankle and tore his retina. So that's why he couldn't come. He fell off a 10-foot ladder doing some menial work that he shouldn't be doing because he probably has 9 ranch hands.
Yeah.
But, he wants to go out and fucking show the boys, hey, Captain fucking Hungamundo fucking does his work too. And he fell. I felt really bad. But first of all, he's kind of this weird artist. I don't know if not too many, but he takes paintings. He'll buy a painting and then paint over the painting something else, but keep some of the painting in it. It's a weird thing. But he draws too. And he would come into my dressing room and just draw guys with dick noses on my wall. And just leave. And it's like, I'm not a star. I'm like, dude, that's like a Sharpie. I can't. There's no way I'm going to go John Corbett from Sex and the City and just draw a dick nose dude. They're not going to believe me. I'm a fucking piece of shit. I drew the dick nose guy. Right. He would come in and draw dick nose, but they were really good. Like there was like this, I would watch it if it was on Adult Swim, like dick nose dudes.
But see, I think that's a difference of like you didn't grow up with a charmed life. His life has been charmed. So, like, he does things that people are like, oh, that's really good. Where when you do it, it's graffiti, and you're done the fucking principal's office.
He'll get a fucking development deal by FXXXXX, and I'll get kicked off the show. Larry will come, what the fuck you drawing dick noses for, you fucking asshole? Yeah, then the last day of shooting, he comes into my room and just fucking puts his foot through my wall.
Yeah.
I go, why? He goes, make a little hole. Make a little hole. And walks out. Fucking hairless leg.
The guy who is the bass player of the band.
Rehab. John Ailes.
You guys have such great fucking chemistry together.
He's fucking such a great actor. He's really good.
And he's having a ball with this show, too, right?
Yeah. Well, me and Leary were supposed to be friends. And if you watch the pilot episode, number 1, I was 30 pounds thinner. Because this is what happened. I knew I was getting the role. I lost a bunch of weight. So I'm learning how to play drums and I'm losing weight. I went on the no sugar, no grains. I dropped all this weight. The first day of shooting on the pilot, the first day we were going in for fittings, Leary comes up, what the fuck you doing? I wrote like fucking 100 fat jokes for you. Stop. I better see you at the fucking craft services table. I'm not kidding. I've been eating since. That's all my fat brain needed was some skinny alpha male going, dude, I better see you at donuts. Fucking 60 pounds later, fucking my feet get numb when I eat too much pizza now. This cocksucker sent me on a fucking... It's like telling a heroin addict, look, you better fucking stop booting up again or you're losing your part. So the pilot, though, if you watch the pilot, I'm actually thinner than I was in episode 2. Episode 2, I'm so much fatter because it took like 3 months from them to pick it up. So I'm just a moose in episode 2. It's like, what? It's literally the next day, Tim. Like I went to bed just like I got stung by bees, right?
That's so great.
So he, in that episode, the episode pilot, we were friends. Me and Leary were in a band together called Skinny Bitch. We were together, but something happened with me and this guy Rehab that Leary just clung on to because he was writing the show as we were filming. And he put us together one day and we just started fucking, when you're doing a scene, you start improv it and you hear like everybody, because you're fucking up the shot.
Right.
You might not be able to use this because you shitheads are laughing behind the monitors, but making Serpico and Leary laugh, and they were like, fuck it. They just started putting us together. And his son, Jack Leary, the last 4 episodes, they were like, what the fuck? Or 3 episodes, they were like, what the fuck are we going to do? And Jack came up with this Beast Core thing.
Hilarious.
That me and him go off and become, what is it? EDMI or fucking whatever. Like,
electronic dance.
Yeah, EDM.
EDM guys. Because we're so old, we just put helmets on so they can't see us. But I read the fucking script and it was like, okay, leather jumpsuit. And I'm like, dude, I can't fit into a fucking stretchy jumpsuit. I can't get into a jump. I'm not, what are you, nuts? They bought the XL, like triple X motorcycle leather jumpsuit. That's like, you can't find. It's not there. And then they had to build panels on the side, and 4 girls had to put me in it. So I'm not even kidding you. They have video of me on the ground, and there was a girl stepping on my stomach, like packaging to zip up the zipper. And they put the helmet on me and gloves. I'm supposed to drum, I'm supposed to dance, and I'm supposed to talk in this helmet. So I'm drumming, I'm dancing, I'm talking, and then the fucking light starts closing in. I fucking almost pass out because I can't. There's audio of me going, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out, and I just sit down. I'm just fucking like, I can't breathe. I had to flip my helmet open. It was a nightmare. They had to unzip me. Like 3 girls came over and like shimmied my arms out. I had to like unhinge my shoulder blades like Mel Gibson to get the fucking thing off. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. Worst day filming ever was in that jumpsuit. There was 2 smoking hot Russian girls that were playing with us, and they were kind of, into us.
Right.
I was such a twat. I was just sit there in between takes hot with the helmet off. And they'd be like, why do you like jumpsuit? I'm like, just shut your face. Just fuck you. Fuck off.
But I think the feast storyline is fucking hilarious too, man.
Yeah, this is epic. This is with, it's funny because we shot it with Campbell Scott, who's awesome.
Who's really nuts in this, playing his own name.
Yeah.
But he's bizarre.
Yeah. The first scene we had, we show up and he's drawing with crayons. That adult thing that people do now. And I didn't know what to expect, but he was so fucking into his thing. Like when we were shooting it, it was fucking scary. Like I was like, is this guy really fucking out of his mind?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's such a great actor. And it's weird being around an actor that great because they're kind of, they're humble. Like they're not, like you think they would come in and just be like, hi, how you doing? Let's do this. Bang. All right. Boom. You got what you need? All right. I'm out. He's like, oh, that sucked. And even Leary, he's like, all right, who'd you try to get before me? I know I wasn't the first guy on the fucking list because him and Leary are friends.
Yeah.
He's like, who'd you try to get? Liam Neeson? and in the script, the first draft said Liam Neeson.
Oh my God.
But Liam said, go fuck yourself. And then they went, he literally named the people they went to. And he was like 3rd or some shit. But he was there. But I couldn't imagine. He's unbelievable. He actually puts on this, he buys Rehab's 28 song cycle about the potato famine. He wrote this fucked up, thing that he wrote, and he buys it and wants to do a Hamilton version, but he wants to rap all 28 songs, 26. And you read the shit and you're like, all right, whatever. I don't know how they're going to get around this. They did it. They actually hired dancers. They hired drummers. They made a set in Brooklyn, and they wrote a fucking play about the potato famine, a rap play about the potato famine, and Campbell Scott fucking raps. And I'm telling you, I would go.
Go see it.
I go see it. Yeah. I'm not even kidding. If the show doesn't get picked up, they should take this on the road.
Well, you're doing your Creeps with Kids. It's about you, Florentine, Bonnie, Louis J. Gomez, everybody can come out to see it August 30th. ComedyCellar.com for tickets. But if you look at cameraman, his dad was George C. Scott. So what fucking age does it dawn on you? When do you figure out, what I thought was life is totally different?
Yeah.
What
and his mother
else.
too.
Yeah.
Was what's his wife's name? Fuck. I had to say it. Actually, I was supposed to say it in the scene we wrote, and I couldn't get it then, and they cut it out, and I can't get it now.
What is it, Chris?
He's married to
George C. Scott's
wife was
Doesn't say it on Wikipedia. That's weird.
Anyways, his father and mother were theater royalty.
Yeah,
I mean, Dewhurst. So was the last name. But yeah, he grew up in that, right, with his dad and his mom. They were theater royalty. I mean, big time theater people. And, and he's fucking amazing too. Big time theater.
Sure.
He did Hamlet,
He did the David Mamet stuff as well. That Mamet movie that he was in is unbelievable. Yeah. And he was always been this intense kind of, like he looks normal, but there's an incredible intensity.
Funny fucking guy.
That's hilarious.
I thought he was gonna be that guy. He was fucking. Him and Larry were just busting chops. He was fucking hilarious. Sweetest guy ever. Like literally would come up to you after the take. Where you going? Like what? I'm going. Are you talking to me? Like what? Why are you talking to me? Like we're going for lunch. Where? I don't fuck. I'll go anywhere you want to go. You know what I mean? I must have such low self-esteem. He was so fucking good, so good, and to do all that crazy. Like I think about acting. Like I can do real shit, contemporary, like Mamet. Like I don't know if you have a red shirt. You have a black shirt, or whatever the hell that shit is. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, how does he do that? Yeah, what's the tempo of that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that exact technique is called.
Because it's not iambic pentameter that they do.
No, they have like a different. It's like a different rhythm that they kind of go back and forth. The way the dialogue is supposed to kind of.
Yeah, you're supposed to sit there and go. You have a black shirt. And you say the same thing back.
Right, you have a black shirt.
No, you have a black shirt.
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 See? Pretty good.
That's it. So it's different every time.
Yeah.
I actually was in a David Mamet film, Oleander. It was the first time I was ever in a film as an extra. My acting teacher got it for me. They ran out of, I was chubby then too. I think it was my second fat back then. I was chubby. And I showed up and they ran out of outfits that would fit me. So they dressed me, and they ran out of backpacks with college students. So they gave me a bowling bag. I looked like Fred Flintstone. Like my shirt didn't fit. My shorts didn't fit. I was the only idiot with a bowling bag. I literally looked like a fucking pervert amongst college students. And I remember I was so fucking hungry. We're on an insane asylum in like Massachusetts somewhere as a college. I was so hungry. This is when cell phones first came out, the Cell One with like the flip phone, and it had the one line. And I ordered a pizza. I ordered a fucking pie, and it comes in. The guy comes in the middle of a scene with fucking David Mamet, the fucking dude from Fargo. I mean, like, and they're literally, it's a walk and talk, so it's hard to get. So I'm sitting way off in the middle of a meadow somewhere in the sun as an extra, just dying. This German lady with a headset, who ordered the pizza? I was like, and everybody's looking at me. I was like, I did. She's like, we feed you. I go, fucking when? So fucking
the extra stops the scene for a pizza to come in.
So they brought us to lunch. I would just go over to the fucking prime rib. I start getting a piece. The lady goes, no. You have to, because when you eat, you have to let the stars eat first. Right. And then the crew eats first, actually. And then the stars can eat with them. And then you eat as an extra. You're like the last fucking piece of shit. So I just said, I had a piece of meat already. So I go, you want me to put it back? And I touched it. I'm like, you want to put it back? I went and sat at the table with Mamet and the producers. Like they were going to notice me. I just sat there with a piece of meat and I grabbed an apple. I remember there was an apple that I could take.
This is like a scene from The Party.
Yeah, it
is. I swore I'd never fucking do extra work. That was the day I was like, I got in a fight with another extra. Because at that time, literally it's like 5 o'clock now. I was there at 6. We're in a fucking, like a cement bunker. Now they moved us to a bunker. I mean, we're just sitting there like fucking hostages. And I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm trying to rally the I'm like, this is bullshit. And the girl goes, this is how you make it. I go, you think you're going to fucking make it? I go, I'll find. I was like, I guarantee you in 20 years, you'll fucking not be doing this. I'll bet you right now. I go, you're not. She goes, you have to become an extra and then they get to know you. I go, nobody fucking will ever know you. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. This is fucking ridiculous. Now, thank God, like SAG changed everything. So now they're not even called extras. They're background. At least they gave them a better name.
Right.
Than fucking extra. That's like when I go for an audition, it just says fat guy. You couldn't write Jim. He couldn't be Frank. You couldn't give him a fucking name. I know it was fat guy in your head, but you couldn't say Frank for the audition.
Well, Doug Benson does that podcast where he'll have people who were extras on classic movies come in to just talk about what they saw. You know, because they're literally on the line when some of these great movies are being shot.
Oh, yeah. And it's weird because, you know, these guys, I remember when I did the 2-2 was a De Niro CBS show. And I remember I was on the show, but I was like the last motherfucker. But I was still on the show. So I got, a trail or whatever I got, right? And I remember I had to wait. They would give me a ride back on the bus. And I was like, oh, my belt, and I got to get my belt. It's like 20 minutes. I got on the bus. All the extras had turned on me because there was a guy out front tapping his fucking toe. Literally an old white guy with like a fucking ascot tapping his toe. And he goes, we were waiting for you. And I go, I'm okay. And he goes, yeah, well, that's not fair to make the whole bus wait for you while you're going. And I was like, listen, dude, go fuck yourself. I didn't ask for this. But you think I want to take a bus back to fucking 47th Street? I'll take the train. They told me, they're making me. And I got on the bus. Everybody was talking about me. I could hear them. They're like, what a fucking he doesn't know the rules. Like there's regulations and rules that I broke. Like we might get a meal penalty or some horse shit, and it was because of me. I had to ride all the way from Harlem to a 47th Street. I got out. When they got to they were dropping us off somewhere downtown at 47th Street or 40. I said, dude, you got to let me out here. I go, I got to let me out. And he was like, I can't. I go, open the fucking door. And he just opened it at red light, and I jumped out because it was everybody on the bus, every extra background, fucking hated me. Because I made them wait for fucking 20 minutes.
Now, when you did the Ghost Town with Gervais, were you an extra for that, or was that a speaking?
No, I was a ghost.
Yeah, you were just one of the ghosts.
But here's another one where it's like, it's almost in between being a background and actual person. They had a bunch of ghosts. And I remember where all the ghosts were in his bedroom at one point, and there was naked ghost. Guy, just a naked guy. Just a big English-looking body, where it's just, small shoulders, chubby stomach, hips, thin belly, then fat, and then thin again. It's just, a fucking weird-looking naked guy. Just, oof. And all of us, and I'm a comic. I'm a stand-up comedian. Ricky's a stand-up comic. We're going to make a connection. So we're sitting there around him, and I'm waiting to, say, oh, he's just fucking chatting it up with naked ghost. Wants nothing to do with fucking construction worker number 3. Right? And, you start to make friends, like all the ghosts we all became friends. Like, so, except I never got friendly with naked ghosts. I didn't want anything to do with them because I was they were laughing, Ricky's laugh.
Yeah.
How it's just fucking, I just want to make that happen sometime. You know what I mean? And, yeah, he just fucking hit it off with Naked Ghost. Nothing to do with me. And the director and the AD and the assistant AD hated me. The first day on set, because I'm fucking the mayor of, hey, I'm from Boston. I have that Colin Quinn thing. How you doing? Nice to see you. All right, hey, how you doing? I'm Colin. All right, hey, I'm Bobby. Well, you got pretty hair today, huh? That's me on set, right? So I step on set and I fucking pull the trigger too early. And the guy has a Yankee hat and I go, fucking yeah, come on with the fucking Yankees. Come on. And he goes, what, are you a Red Sox fan? I go, yeah, of course I'm. He goes, go fuck He was a real diehard Yankee for the 80s. He was like, go fuck yourself. I was like, what the and I didn't know he was serious, so I stepped on it more, and I was like, fuck you guys. And he goes, seriously, fuck you fucking Red Sox. So it's like this New York, and I was like, no, I don't give a fuck who wins, really, I got every time I got a trailer, the bathroom didn't work, or the door didn't work. I'm not kidding you. I got fucked. The director hated me, who was like the fucking guy who wrote Jurassic Park or some shit. His directorial debut. He didn't like me. Nobody liked Construction Worker number 3 as Ghost part. I remember there's that big scene when I'm running down the hill, and it's actually on YouTube. These guys get high and watch just the scene of me running down the hill, and they get high and drunk and they just watch me, because what happens is when I was running down the hill, I had that bad knee injury. So I had too much momentum coming down. So my arms started windmilling, because it was the only way I could keep myself up and not fucking, just tumbling down the hill. So my arms are windmilling as I'm coming down, and I fucking zip by camera. Everybody's laughing. You hear the director go, what the why did he do that with his arms?
I want to watch it real quick.
That was me just trying to slow down. But there it is.
It's so great. It's so great.
The only reason I'm in front, too, is because my girth pushed me in front. The gravity, I was actually 5 back. All of a sudden, I'm running front camera. They're like, why is the fat horse winning? I was supposed to be behind everybody, but when we came around that turn...
Wait, Chris, this is on a loop where it just plays over and over?
Yeah. Well, there's guys that watch it on the internet. And
I'll be one of them now.
There's one of them where you can hear the guys talking, and it's like, Bobby! No, they go, there he is, Bobby! And I come flying by. And how funny was that? He pulls me over. He goes, why did you do that with your arms? I go, because I'm fat. And then that's the one they use in the movie. How funny is that?
It's so great. Yeah. Creeps with kids. 8 o'clock Tuesday, August 30th, Robert Kelly, Jim Florentine, Bonnie McFarlane, Louis J. Gomez. I'm going to be hosting that night. Go to thecomedycellar.com for tickets.
We need somebody to ask questions and get people. Will you grab the mic and can you do that?
Absolutely, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That way
I'm in.
Because if things get if you have any questions...
Right.
You can ask some questions. Or
objections. This stuff isn't as good as you guys say.
I do think it's fascinating, though, having a kid is such a... I see this right now, and I'm like, fuck, this is... To be able to do a show and be friends with your kid later in life... that's like the happiest shit in the world to me.
I didn't realize how many people I was going to hear from the same thing. Where people write to me and say, okay, my kid's 11. My dream is just where we're friends. You don't know how many men are petrified that their kid is not going to like them once they grow up.
There is a fear of your children becoming adults.
Yeah.
But it has the potential to be the best time in your relationship.
Was there a time that you didn't like your dad and you didn't want to hang out with him?
No, I don't think that there was ever a time that...
No, I don't think we ever
we were always kind of
went
buddies.
Through that. Yeah.
Did you ever hit her or yell at her?
No, but it's a very...
No, you didn't.
Look, let me just say this. That would never be off the fucking table. I would have. You know what I mean?
That's probably why I was so well behaved.
Yeah.
It's not that he hit me. It's that he could hit me.
Right.
I remember.
I definitely thought. I never thought, oh, this guy won't do this.
But I remember one time I said to you and your brother that I go, you have no fucking idea who I am. You don't know who you're fucking with right now. I could sit and tell you crazy shit that fucking went down. So, don't fucking glare at me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But they really don't.
No,
they have no fucking clue.
Right.
They don't know. They don't have a clue of who I know, who my friends are. I'm gonna have to explain Jim someday.
Right.
Jim Norton is my kid's favorite friend. right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? He loves Chip. I'm going to have to tell him, like Santa Claus, Chip is not real.
Right. So he just acts like Chip when he comes over? He doesn't?
Dude, he acts like Chip. He acts like Norton, but he'll do Chip. My kid will. I heard him in the morning one morning. He's in bed going, Chippa. Chip. And he's like, I want to call Chip. Like, not Yaya, not Auntie Lisa, not Mom. Chip. He wants to talk to fucking a person that doesn't exist. Those are my friends.
Yes. Yes, that's the thing. And this is, well, first of all, if you go through this list, you, Florentine, Barney, and Louis J., well, Louis had no fucking choice of what was going to happen in his life. It was going to be something bad. But you guys all decided, you know what I mean? I'm not going to follow the regular rules of society. Yeah. I'm going to become a comic. Yeah. And then at a certain point you go, oh, but then I'll still have a family. It's a very cake and eat it too.
I hated fucking parents until like 6 years ago. Me and my wife would see parents when we go to Aruba 2-3 times a year, and we would see parents at the airport or on planes. And I used to be like, I honestly gotta be like, look at them, look at you. They look wet. They just look sweaty and fucking wet because they're just carrying too much shit. You know what I mean? They've been up since fucking 5, just packing and carrying and picking up and putting down, and they just panic. We used to hate them, fucking hate them. We would stay at hotels that didn't allow children because we stayed at a hotel with kids, and you're in the hot tub and it's just 5 kids from Long Island and some fucking in shape, good looking fucking bald dad that used to be the swinging dick with a Monte Carlo with T-tops and fucking spoke. Now he's just a fucking, now he's just an asshole in a hot tub at the Divi Phoenix, you know? And it's like, I was like, we hated it. And then something happened. I don't know what the fuck it was. And if I could go back and change it, I wouldn't, you know, but I just fucking wanted to. I looked at my wife one day and I was like, do you want to make a baby? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you do? Cause she didn't want one. She's like, I think I do. So I just jizzed in her.
That's simple.
It was like weird. It was like we fucked, and I just at the end, I left my jizz in her vag, and I was like, okay, like we did it, like, you know. And I remember the first one she got pregnant and she had a miscarriage. That was a fucking nightmare because who was that? Like, was that my prodigy? Was that my fucking LeBron? Was that, like, who was that? Who was that motherfucker? And that when you go through that excitement of, we did, and all of a sudden it's gone, which happens all the time. Miscarriage is actually a good thing. It cleans out the blah, blah, blah. But you get, I didn't get that. You take away that. You're pregnant. Now it's fear.
Yeah, right.
So since that happened, now I'm just afraid of something happening to him all the fucking time. And, you know, you have this kid, there's no getting out of it. Like, there's no fucking, everything else I did in life, there was a way out. Whatever the fuck it was. Whatever the fuck it was.
It's so fucking funny. That's so naturally funny.
I fucking hate, and I guarantee you it's somebody listening to me right now. It's like when you're doing my phone keeps going off. It's like when you do live FaceTime and then someone calls you because they see you. I'm using the phone, you fucking twat. If you're listening to me right now and you're calling my phone, I hope you hit a tree on the sawmill. Oh, yeah. So now there's no getting away from it. There's no. It's not, I mean, it's constant. Like, he woke up this morning and, you know, and I think guilt is your friend when you have a child. I think guilt, you have to have guilt. You have to absorb guilt. You have to say, I'm going to go out right now. I'm going to go work, or I'm going to go do what I need to do, or I'm going to go out and I'm going to wait until I feel guilty enough to when I go home, I'm excited to see him again.
No.
Because if you if you play it where you're just going to stay home all day and push yourself through fucked up shit, I think that you'll get resentful towards your kid. I think sometimes you have to do that, but you'll get resentful to her and them. I think you need, and my wife has to do it too, get the fuck out. And guilt is your friend. Guilt will let you know when it's time to go home. Guilt will let you know when you need to be there, and do, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Cause especially what I do, I'm on the road. I do comedy. I have, I'm on the road. I'm in Phoenix or Miami and you're home and I'm at a fucking hotel and there's a pool and I do a show for an hour a night and I go to eat and I fucking stay up late and I watch movies and I fucking watch porn and I fucking blah, blah. You know what I mean? You feel guilty. And then that guilt brings you home, and then you'll spend all day Sunday, all day Monday, and all day Tuesday. And then, all right, I had enough. Let me get the fuck out of here.
So this could be a book, Parenting Through Guilt, where you actually let your guilt work for you.
It could be a chapter. I think that would be like the 5th chapter. The first chapter is don't hit. So, even though you want to.
Yeah.
You want to fucking just grab him and go, I'm stronger than you. I am so much fucking stronger than you. You don't understand. I can snap. Look at this finger. Look at that. See that? Ow. That could be your arm.
So this is what we're going to do, Creeps with Kids. We'll have a panel. We'll talk about this kind of stuff.
Well, that's the best part.
Yeah.
See, I was going to do a regular show.
Yeah.
Which we all do 20 minutes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, we're doing the show with you, Live in the Fishbowl. We've done so many of these, but nobody there's something the way you do things, the way you run an interview. Mm-hmm. It's all of a sudden you're done and it's just this amazing, he knows how to drop things out. You know how to ask questions, but you also know when to let things go. And I was like, it would be great if at the end, we could have people ask questions. If you don't have a kid, maybe someday you will. Thinking of having kids. If you have kids, come to this show and we'll answer these questions because all these people are great parents. Luis Gomez is a great parent, but how the fuck does he do it? He lives in the projects. He's a single dude. He's on, his claim to fame is a thing called Legions of Skanks, and he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. He's a total committed dad too.
Committed dad.
He's a committed dad.
Florentine too.
Same thing.
Bonnie
dad.
too.
Bonnie is. We did something here, and when it was over, she was straight with her kid, and then she was in that world. And I'm just like, dude, we just killed. Can we talk about that though? Let's just talk about how much the show just killed with me, you, and Rich. But she was already in that mom world.
Yeah.
So it's going to be so fascinating.
Yeah, and with you, especially having kids.
Yeah.
And if most people see us and you have kids, you ever get that? You have a kid, and it's like, yeah, I have a fucking kid. We're not supposed to have kids. We're selfish egomaniacs. That's what we are. We're not supposed to have kids, but I think our kids are the best. I think our kids grow up in the most honest way because we're not pretending to trying to do what we think we should do. We're just doing what feels right.
Well, let me ask you that, Gail. Did anything surprise you after the fact? Did you think something was different than it turned out to be? Because we were always pretty open with you.
Yeah, I think you guys parented very honestly. There was this a kind of thing where anytime an idea that if a kid was smart enough to have a question about something, they were probably ready to have an honest answer. So if you were smart enough to come up with why is this way, or who is this person, whatever.
Well, but what we always did is because of the way we are with each other, the way we live our lives, rather than give you an answer, we start the conversation. Basically, like we're doing here.
Exactly.
There are a lot of ways to answer any question.
Right.
I think the people that are involved in this stuff, it's a lot better than getting, here's a fact, go live with it.
But I think I also like the kind of people I spent time with when I was a kid, being around comics. It was funny because it was a lot of fun. And then I remember I have this very strong memory of we were kind of out on the road with the Disciples at that time. And so this would have been Mitchell Walters and Jimmy Schubert and Carl LeBeau. And so coming back, I remember the first day of school. So that was that summer. And I remember I was standing at the auditorium, and it was all these kids, and they were just playing. And I was just like, I can't relate to these people. Like, I actually can't have a fucking conversation with these
That's
dudes.
like when I toured with Dane and we did all private jets. And the last day when I went home, I was in line at for Coach. I was just like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
What?
The worst thing that could ever happen
Zone
is
3?
private once. That's the worst thing that could happen.
I did 80 shows, and the last show I had was in Zone 3 in a middle seat. I was like, boo. Yeah, but like, I think about my kid. Like, I remember my cousin Jody, who, he's a teacher now, but he's back in the day in New Hampshire. He was a singer-songwriter, and him and his friend, would sing all the time at Hampton Beach. Up in that area, which was a lot of rock and roll. It was like Jersey Shore. Yeah. A lot of rock clubs, a lot of bars, and you'd go in anywhere and there'd be some dude fucking rocking it out and singing, and he was that guy. I remember young dude, he reminded me of like Jack Tripper, like body-wise. You know what I mean? Except with no goofiness, you know? But he was just this cool guy. And we'd go to concerts, and I remember sitting in the front row, because I knew him, and he'd be singing, and the place would go nuts, and they'd be doing some no nuke thing, you know, because the nuclear whatever, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And then he had an A-frame on the beach. You know, remember those?
Sure. Yeah.
Which is like the fucking greatest beach house ever, just a fucking A with windows. And he had that mid-century fireplace in the middle of the room. He had he had 2 Afghans. So fucking nice, 70s, you know what I mean? Playboy, just banging broads. He had like a Japanese pinball machine, a vertical thing on the wall. And he was the coolest motherfucker in the world to me. And I remember like being there and watching him sing and being like, what the fuck is that? And like when we were in Aruba last time, I was on stage and she brought him in and he ran up on stage and he grabbed the mic and he's like, hello, folks. And I'm like, what? I go, dude, do you even know what the fuck you're doing right now? Like, you're on stage. He's going to remember this shit. And his life is definitely going to be different in a weird way. You know, and I think, like, I look at you and like you came out great. Like you're personable, you're nice, you're friendly, you know, you're creative. And it's like you made her the same way I made my kid. You know, just one night, you just kept it in.
Yeah.
And now you have a partner in crime.
Yeah. Oh, life is weird. It is really
it's
weird.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like you with Fez for a long time.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing that you don't know. Me and Fez has been with her forever. Like, Fez had as much to do comedically raising her as I did. Because he'd be at the house, he'd be doing his shit. I would go to bed and Fez would hang out with my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's the same type of thing, is like a lot of their personality is from the people that they brought. It's from riffing and having fun and doing all that kind of shit.
I learned from like even listening to you now, I learned a lot from, like, I would watch Louis before I had a kid. I'd see him with his kids or see what he would do. And I'd just be like, wow, that's so fucking like interesting. The way he would treat his kids or the way he would take care of his kids. I'd watch guys like that and be like, fuck. So I don't think parenting is something that you learn once and then do it. I think it's something that you constantly are pulling from people that you like. You know what I mean? And rejecting people you don't like. And I don't think there's a wrong or right way.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Because I know some guys that do shit with their kids and I hate it. I'm like, you're raising a douchebag.
Yeah.
You're literally raising a fucking just a piece of shit. I'm going to hate this kid someday. I'm going to be at a Starbucks and this fuck's going to be on his phone and in front of me. And she's going to go, excuse me, sir. And, excuse me, sir. Sir. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. What? I'm going to, that's your kid you're raising. Just, you know, but what are you going to,
yeah. But see, I think a lot of people set out to raise like a good student or a good athlete and not a good person. You know what I mean? Like, just, you're talking about like, if you try to teach people how to be cool, just to be nice to other people and be interested in the world around them.
And I think you're trying to teach it. One guy told me, just make sure you don't, whatever you did, whatever happened to you that was fucked up or however you're fucked up, don't give that to your kid.
Yeah.
And don't think that you'll be able to change them when they're 16, because whatever you give them now, they're going to have for the rest of their fucking lives.
Yeah,
it's not. You're not gonna be able to take that. And when they're 16, go look. They got it, and you gave it to them. Like my temper, I have a fucking temper. I just do, and I hate it. And I really try not to fight with my wife. Like I love, I don't love fighting with my wife, but there's something about fucking going, you fucking did that. No, fuck you, fucking slam, fucking boom, walk down the street huffing and puffing, mumbling, you motherfucking, go back to fucking Boston, you fucking, and then coming back in and going, look, me too, and I fucking love you too, fucking. There's something romantic about that to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's my upbringing, but there's something I kind of miss that. Now we don't do that. Now it's like, look, you told me, and he'll be like, don't fight. And I'm like, you said to me that I had the key. So where is the key? You know what I mean? Because I want to fucking slam a cabinet so bad. But I can't, because I don't want to pass that. I want him to not have that. You know what I mean? That Boston, fuck you. But I'm afraid that if he doesn't have it, someone's going to fucking beat the shit out of him and take his lunch money. So it's a weird thing.
Creeps with Kids. This is what we're going to be talking about. Go to thecomedycellar.com for tickets. It's Robert Kelly, Jim Florentine, Bonnie McFarlane, Louis J. Gomez. What a night this is going to be.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I just saw the 2 pairs of glasses on your head.
Oh yeah. I got the other side. I need shades too. And then, of course, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Thursdays, 10 o'clock on FXN. You can always download Robert Kelly's podcast, You Know What, Dude, on riotcast.com. So I'm going to see you soon.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And everybody else, we'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!